Hey everybody,
Hello.
Hey,
welcome. This is the first episode of Shoot the Shit,
This
we
is the
did it.
pilot episode.
where we shoot the shit, as you can
Hopefully,
see
don't run it into the
above
ground.
me. Coming to you from Butthole Road. I couldn't think of a better background, so we have the wonderful Kuykendall in the background. If you're wondering what that is, just Google it. You'll
Mhm,
thank me later.
mhm. The unofficial mascot.
So for the first topic, we're gonna go over the game club and what game we're going to pick. Daniel, if you wanna go over the game club and what the fuck that is.
Okay, so book club, but for video games. If you don't know what a book club is, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because if you're watching this, you know what we're doing. Like only two viewers. It's a book club for video games. We play a video game once every month. We try to aim for a minimum amount of hours or investment into the game, and then we'll meet once a month and talk about it. Talk about what we like, what we didn't like, um, anything that was interesting. Maybe it can extend into franchises, and we play a franchises, and we talk about how the franchise um, either got better, got worse, or changed or evolved, and etc. It's just exactly as a book club, but for video games.
I cannot wait for the Elder Scrolls franchise
Where we play
to run
them,
Oblivion into the ground.
play all of
Okay.
them one after another, 100%.
You guys can do this when I already have my separate show and I've quit
like
this one, and,
Gaunt
like,
at the end of it.
Whoa! He's gonna move on to bigger and better things, everybody.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ, we gotta.
And he announces
cool
this on the
guy over
pilot.
Yeah, what a dick move. All right, are you ready for the announcement? Jordan, give me a drum roll.
Scuba 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 scuba.
Here's the straw poll results for the
Yes.
Game Club game. It was like this since like the very first day. Everybody only voted for ones
No.
that had zero chance of winning.
like at one point it was when I first original voted, and the Gungeon was first and Hollow Knight was second. And then I think Hollow Knight fits perfectly what we want, and I think Enter the Gungeon and this other two fit perfectly what we want.
Mhm.
I think all the other ones for the pilot are kind of like weird.
Yeah, we don't want any triple A's or things that have already been talked to death. Like everyone
Well-
is playing PUBG right now. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about, but it's like,
Well,
what more is there
at
to
least
say that hasn't been said?
Yeah, exactly. So at least although Hollow Knight has also been talked to, that it's a game we haven't, like, I don't think many of us have experienced, so it'll be interesting.
Mhm. I think it's got a great story.
Spoilers.
Does kind of hit you over the head with it too, you know?
Somebody's already played it over here.
No, I've only heard rumors and whispers.
Uh-huh.
All I know is that it comes from Australia, and Australia, it's they're cool, I guess.
So
I
is
know their shit.
Tien's trying to change his vote at the very last second, and no.
He's changing it?
No, you just tell him no. You can't.
Only if he
You have
didn't
your
vote for
chance.
Hollow Knight.
I voted I voted like Hollow Knight, Enter the Gungeon, Dishonored 2, and PUBG. I think those were my votes. Even though those were not even all the ones I suggested, but I think those fit.
I'm really glad that fucking The Surge didn't win, because I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
piloting this kind of thing with a AAA is kind of weird.
The Search isn't like, it's a AAA just because of the publisher, but it's not a. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Demon's Souls originally, but except people like it now.
That's true.
Anyway, so we'll be
This was
playing
your
Hollow Knight.
suggestion. This was your suggestion, wasn't it, Jordan?
Yeah, it was.
You want to talk
What?
about it a little bit?
Yeah, Hollow Knight is a 2D platformer, Metroidvania like. So it's all you need to know. It is.
What does that
influenced
mean? What does
heavily by Dark Souls.
Metroidvania? What does Metroidvania mean?
Megalovania?
It's a A Metroidvania is a platforming with combat involved. So you're dodging spike walls and you're dodging enemy types and you're also dealing damage back to them in various ways through magic and through melee. And it makes it really engaging and also really difficult too. And I think that's kind of a thing with Metroidvanias. But it's got like everything. It's got the gameplay and it's got the story and the atmosphere, and it's absolutely adorable. You're
It
gonna
is.
see some of the creatures out here, they're flipping adorable. You're like, I don't want to murder you, but have to for your delicious money. And
Yeah, look at that "Carry Me Like a" game. Look horrible. Look at all that fucking platforming.
yeah, Tion's gonna die. He's done for.
Yeah, yeah. No. When I first heard of this game, and I remember it was compared, it was told to me as like Dark Souls but 2D, if I remember correctly. It was this game, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the fact that Dark Souls is a genre now. It's cool, but I don't think that's a fair comparison because like Metroidvania does have some like map layouts, kind of like Dark Souls, but the style, the artwork of it, it's like so unique.
Yeah. And thankfully, unlike Dark Souls, it actually has a map. So you won't
You
get
know where
it
you
has,
go.
it has a
lost,
map
right?
and real save points, which aren't two
Yeah,
levels away from
Actual
each
save points, right?
Then it's too easy. Okay, then it's not Dark Souls. It's just casual. It's just like a Super Mario Bros. Whatever, you know.
Truly.
other. Right.
Maybe
We'll
emulate
see how
Dark
this
Souls is
goes.
Yeah, no, I'm
it's gonna
totally.
be so great. Do you
Really
think we
great.
should do an LP of it? Like
Yeah, Jordan, you're
Yeah.
gonna
Like, I
record
think that would be really
yours,
cool.
right?
yeah,
Toss it up on YouTube.
yeah, you could show my run
Except if
through.
you see if you've started, that means you have to start over.
That's okay. I mean, I haven't started. I don't need to start over.
Hollow Knight. Yep, that's gonna be pretty dope though. All right, let's jump into the rest of the topics. The first one, we're gonna start with esports. It's Virtus Premier. You know a lot
Oh
about
yeah,
this one,
it's a
Daniel.
cool drama.
I haven't followed CS because the meta right now is like I know about it, but the meta right now I have no idea. Like it's stalled, but it's evolving. I don't understand it.
How does it evolve? You just like shoot him in the head.
No, the team meta between the strategy between the teams has
Mm.
changed, but
Oh
the
yeah.
actual meta in the game hasn't evolved for like I'm gonna say like 4 months, and I'm not even well informed about it, so it's just what I've tangentially seen. But the fact that Virtus Pro just like
Yeah, they
9 and
dropped out of the
17.
pro league.
well,
Like, they
Yeah,
bombed out of the league.
They went from winning a major to going 9-17 online. A lot of people like to say
9
that
17.
Virtus Pro is basically the opposite of or C9 is the opposite of Virtus Pro, since C9 has been doing good online and they can't win anything on LAN, and apparently Virtus Pro can't win anything online, so they never get to
Well-
go to LAN.
Shit.
well, I think Virtus Pro used to be like the team you didn't want to face online, but maybe like now they just focus on LAN and they like are just playing around online or something. I mean, ESL Premier is cool and all, but maybe they like there's many reasons they could have just been like, let's just treat this as a practice, which is what I'm guessing they did, or they just haven't practiced and they just said like let's show up, because this is not a result they're gonna be happy with whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Wonder if they got
not.
overconfidence. Like
Mm.
if
I
they're
don't
like,
know.
we don't even need to practice.
Maybe. Because
the
Then
thing
they
is-
then they lost on the meta.
This isn't the only league that they're doing badly in. There's another league that's going on right now. It's called ECS, and they're also doing
yeah.
really badly here. They're about
I-
halfway through the group stage, but it's
I
not
don't
good.
think they're overconfident at all, because that's not the Virtus Pro team. That's not the type of team they are. If anything, I just think that they like I don't know
Maybe.
because they used to be scary online and now they aren't, and that's an odd one. I think they used to be scary online, but they were also shaky. So maybe they're just on a downswing for it.
Maybe we'll see them coming back in the coming days.
Definitely on land, they're still gonna be scary. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they would terrify
if
me.
they ever get there.
I mean, they're the winners of the major, so they have to go to the next one. Like
It's true.
they're
We'll see.
they're
I mean,
going to
maybe they'll
sell-
lose groups immediately, but I don't know. I mean,
And I
here,
mean-
let's just look at the two games that they needed to win at least one of these games because it was a double elimination in the
Yes.
relegation bracket, so there were 4 teams.
Yeah.
2 of them would get promoted and 2 of them would get demoted, right? 2 of them were coming from the Pro League and 2 of them were coming from the Premier League. So they were just kind of battling it out to see who would get the extra spots. This is the first one that they played against Big. And honestly, I don't really know anything about Big. Oh, it's old Mouse. I see.
Wait,
Basically,
well, oh, I see.
Yeah. it's old Mouse, like 2014 Mouse.
Well, I can tell by the facts that God B is for sure in-game leader.
They won.
So I actually can
-17.
I actually can see how they won because also Jordan disconnected, so now this thing is screwed. Whatever.
Oh no.
Jordan,
oh,
your camera.
Oh, did I?
Your camera.
He's back.
Okay, is it back? Sorry. sorry.
So Gobi is in-game. Tabson is like, I can accept them to lose to it, but
I mean, see, these 2 maps, I could see why they lost on these 2 because it's Inferno and Cobble. Like, you know, it wasn't any of their super crazy maps.
not super crazy, but at least like, unless Gobi has been working on something crazy, at least I should have taken Cobble.
Yeah.
Inferno,
this
it's
one
been
was
a long
close.
time since they're good at it. It's like, but, and the thing is that had they taken it to train, I think Virtus Pro wins easy.
I have a funny thing to show you because
Yes, I know,
the next,
I know,
the
but
next one versus Penta, they played on train and they got destroyed. 16-7. They did okay,
Okay, but-
against Big, but this
But
is
now
the
the-
weird one.
now scroll down and see who's in Penta. Penta is like random, but
Penta's full of randos compared to VP.
that you mean with the oh yeah, well, Crystal's not random, and the thing is that randos have always been upsetting. Like randos have always they treated like ESEA. They treated like
I tend to
They
agree,
always-
but they played on train and lost 16-7.
like.
There's not
Oh,
really much
I-
that can excuse that. for
I already
VP.
said online being flaky, etc., etc. Like they're out of it. I do think it's a good time to be punished because then they can come back and win a major. Like they can be like, okay, guys, let's get back into shape. But
Hopefully
it
they
is
don't go in the way of
surprising.
Nip.
Nip Nip always has problems, and the thing is that they don't understand that they need to just break apart.
Yeah,
Learn
they just-
something-
They love each other too much. It's for
Learn
some-
something from other players, from other peoples, from other talents. That
You
then
know,
they can do it.
Yeah, and for some context here, Jordan, Ninjas in Pajamas and Virtus Pro, these 2 teams have players in them that have been playing together for years and years and years. And you know
Yeah.
how fickle esports is. Usually,
and they know each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
they know each other, but the thing is, it's like they were doing well, and neither of the teams, they're both struggling really hard right now. Whereas a lot of the other pro teams, they're picking up a lot of younger blood, or doing different combinations of players.
Well,
with the exception
Virtus
of
Pro.
Fnatic.
Yeah. For
Yeah. Well,
context, a lot of
go
um,
ahead, Jordan.
a
Go
lot of pro
ahead.
teams, they only have players for a matter of months.
Yeah.
As long as
No.
they stay together.
There's a lot of CS that also like the French teams are always shuffling between each
Yeah,
other.
They've had like
They're-
every possible combination at this point, I feel like.
Sure. Pretty
Yeah.
much, and now they just need to add the new bloods. But Virtus Pro, the problem is that the language, it's not a barrier, but obviously they ideally want to do Polish only, and so they can only pick from like a very small, like a very small pool of players, and then it's adapting that person into the system, getting them to that, like it's a challenge, and at least they've always been on like a downward and upswing, like they always do good, do bad, like they go up and down. I like, and they always been sort of like a gatekeeper almost, except for this
It's
recent
true,
result.
because
There's always been the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
There's always been the Cloud9. They got like they're not gonna get to the quarters or the semis because they gotta be Burst Pro, and Cloud9 can be Burst
Yeah.
Pro. There's always been the
but I
ones that
mean-
keep it.
I mean, there's usually one pro team that gets put into relegation at the end of the league that
Mhm.
is like the definite gatekeeper. It's like, we are going to have these same teams in pro league forever. And
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting that this is starting to change, because it's good for the esport.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot more players involved.
And NCS players, they stuck around for a long time. It's good to see some people popping out here and there that show promise maybe within the next year or so.
Yeah, I think CS has some of the oldest players out of any esport.
Yeah, isn't Taz like 30?
Something
Two,
like that. He's in his
yeah,
30s,
like-
which
Yeah,
is unheard of.
I mean the fact that he's still like he wins a major, that's great. But anyway, I think
That's a lot.
it's time
that's
for
a-
Injust.
And just ass.
Well, while we were on the topic of esports, and specifically aging players, a lot of the old Brood War players are getting older, and they can't even compete in StarCraft 2. But
That's-
there's a Brood War.
I would say that's because they're fundamentally different games. Your camera died again.
True story. True story. Oh no.
Well,
But,
who plays StarCraft anymore?
There's
Ooh.
StarCraft Remastered coming out
Yeah, StarCraft Remastered
this
is
summer.
coming this summer.
We got StarCraft
What?
Remastered
There's
and a
also
Brood War tournament as well.
there's also Flash. Okay, so you have to remember that Flash isn't that old. Flash is, I mean, he's, for StarCraft terms, he is old, but he's not that old. He's only 24. He's our age. So
Yeah,
it's like,
Yeah,
I
truly.
don't know. But
The only
yeah,
Flash I know is DC Flash. I don't.
Okay. All right, so let me
Lord,
get rid of all this
Help
garbage.
that tournament if he shows up.
And then let me show you all this stupid clip from Injustice 2. and
But
I'll
if
show you
if
why
there were
we
Deadshot in that
included this.
tourney, dude,
Yeah,
Flash
we're
couldn't
doing
stand it.
Deadshot. This is so
Okay.
Injustice 2 came out
Play
this
the clip,
week.
play the clip,
and
yeah.
this is how Deadshot
Okay.
plays.
So while this
This
plays,
is the future of fighting game.
while this plays, Injustice 2 is a fighting game a la Mortal Kombat, but with a DC character. Straight up on Superman, Batman, Robin, Blue Beetle, like Doctor Strange, stuff like that.
New mechanics. They've got that
And
Flash
you-
mechanic.
Yeah, they have like meter, they have like ultimates and all that stuff. There's a ranged character in a fighting game.
Specifically ranged.
Here, I got another clip.
I mean,
this was the second one's even
it could be
better.
cool
The second
because you gotta like close the distance.
No, the
and-
idea,
and
the
he's gotta
idea
escape.
the idea is cool, but the reason it hasn't been executed that often is because of this.
This has resulted
this-
in so many broken
Wouldn't
controllers.
Wouldn't you want? This game just came out this week. This character is absolutely getting nerfed and changed because look.
Oh
at
yeah,
this. Just
definitely.
imagine going to an event and seeing this. You're watching this on the fucking phone. Oh boy.
And if anybody doesn't know about what fighting games are exciting about, it's about controlling the screen, controlling the area, cornering opponents, getting out of those tight situations. You know, opponents pushing you to a corner, you move out of the way. This completely eliminates that.
You literally
completely-
have to dodge
Which is kind of cool. I mean,
The idea is cool,
cool.
but like to the
looked at
level
the
where
wrong
there's a
life bar for
character that's
half of the-
entirely ranged,
yeah.
I
So
think that's a little.
You can you can have this open area, but it's gonna kill you anyways. And you just spend the whole game escaping and trying to create more distance. It's kind of cool. Like if they gave him some really good escape abilities, like Yoshimitsu's teleport, if you ever play Soul Calibur, it can be really strong.
See, but the problem
Yeah.
is right here, right here. Read this. He can
Oh,
also
yeah.
create a few scary 50-50 situations where the opponents have to guess if they need to block low or high. So in fighting games, in order to block an attack, you have to make
Oh, yeah,
sure you're
true story.
blocking in the correct position. Because
Yeah.
if he attacks low and you're blocking high, you're not going to block it. And Deadshot can shoot in both. He can shoot.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not just straight across. You know, it's not like Fox in Super Smash Brothers, right? He doesn't just shoot horizontally. Like he can bounce his bullets off of the floor.
I mean,
gotta get good.
that's very flavor with Deadshot, like the
Oh, it
actual
is.
character.
But it
Yeah.
just
That's very
makes
flavor
it-
with the lore.
I don't know, like on high level play, you can't have something
shot
like this.
Flash, like-
I don't know.
I mean, it's for Injustice. It's hard to take this seriously as a fighting game when they release something like this. I guess they want to try it, but if in play testing it didn't come, like these results didn't come out, they need to sort of work out what went wrong in play testing. Like, what were they not focusing in Deadshot enough? Were they did some last minute changes on values that, like, because it's like clear. It came out this week, and it wasn't something that was figured out or anything. It was just clear from the beginning.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
there was nothing special about it. That's the worst part. I think that's another thing that people really hate because, you know, if you have to do something special to achieve this distance, then I think it would be different, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think that could even make the character a lot more interesting and maybe like viable in a non-OP way, like just.
Yeah.
But right now, like
Uh.
the fact that you spawn with range, it's an advantage straight up for some reason.
And I think like an important
Yeah.
thing to realize is that in these kinds of games, so the company that makes the Mortal Kombat and Injustice series is called NCR, and always in NCR games, because it's a Western fighting game, like kind of hating on Westerners, but it's a lot simpler than the Japanese fighting games because, like, for example, in Street Fighter, like there are no handmade inputs that create combos that are set up for you, but in Injustice and Mortal Kombat, like for example, if you press square square triangle, like it goes into
By the
kind of a
way-
God of War kind of thing.
Current topic is Virtus Premiere.
Virtus Premiere. This isn't Virtus Premiere.
But yes, but necessarily it being simpler or a little bit more like, a hand holding is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think it's good that it can make fighting games accessible to some people
Well, the thing
and
is,
introduce them into a way. The thing is that how can it be accessible when you
We
go
have
online
this.
and you can wreck this? Exactly.
I mean,
You're
it's
like,
super disheartening. But what I mean, like the analogy I was kind of trying to make and go towards was that because the inputs are simpler, this like doing these things
Oh,
on Deadshot,
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
difficult. You hit one
Yeah.
button and he
yeah,
shoots.
yeah, no, definitely. Like,
I think that's fitting. It's fitting with the
This-
character.
exactly. It was meant to
It's
be
like-
OP, so it's OP.
As the griefer, yeah.
That's how it was meant to be.
That's
I guess.
that.
I mean,
I don't know if we're
You'll
gonna see this game.
it'll
turn
get
into-
patched in, like, I'm guessing within 2 weeks. Like, it's just at this point it's just changing values so he doesn't do damage. Like, that's the easiest emergency patch, and that's the one that developers always use until they actually go in and try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. There.
Tien has a good point in chat. He said that you really can't compare Sonic Fox's Deadshot to normal people's Deadshot because he is literally the best player. For some
Oh.
background, this Sonic. But the thing is, you know that clip I showed you? That wasn't Sonic
Yeah.
Fox playing.
Yeah.
So
So Sonic Fox background, yeah.
the first one was Sonic Fox, but basically Sonic Fox is this kid. He's 19 years old, And ever since Mortal Kombat 9, he's just been completely dominating every single NCR game. Like Mortal Kombat 9, Injustice, Mortal Kombat 10, and XL. Like, he is completely dominant. He shows up to tournaments to get a paycheck, basically. Like, for example, they had the first Injustice tournament this past Wednesday, right after the game came out, and he was just like, they were interviewing him after. It's like, who is the most difficult player? And then he mentioned this player, and he 3-1 this player. Like, it wasn't close, but that was the most difficult opponent for him. And I mean, going on with Sonic Fox, like, he's a competitive player. He's there to make money. Like, you can't fault him for using something that's available.
Well, exactly. No, yeah,
But the thing
totally.
is, he doesn't only play Deadshot. He can also play a crazy Joker, which is nuts. Like, he acknowledges that, like, when people try to counter Deadshot by picking something that can close the gap, then he's like, all right, I'll play a different character. I don't need this cheese tactic to beat you.
Yeah, but the cheese tactic is
It
It's-
makes it
it's easy.
It's
It,
strong.
it
like,
makes a
yeah,
bad player seem good.
yeah, no, definitely.
That's
and
the problem for sure.
it scares me. Maybe the developers wanted to include a character that allowed for that. Like, you know, as
Like,
I
they
said
knew what they were
earlier,
doing.
as I said earlier, they're aware that they're aiming not necessarily at the people looking for the most complex game. So at one point, they
But-
could have been saying, like, you know what, let's make a character that
But
and that creates an imbalance that I think is very unfair.
it can be, though. I mean, you just got to get good, to beat that, and it can actually be kind of fun to play that cheesy ranged character.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I bet it's a blast to beat Deadshot when you're
And
destroying your opponent.
that's the point of the game. Like,
Yes and no, but at
So-
one point it always gets boring whenever you've been playing like the same
Yeah.
guy over and over, the same champion over and over. You're just like, I did it with Overwatch. No one, when I
Like-
started playing Overwatch, no one would pick healer, and I would pick
here I go,
Lucio,
kill it
Yeah.
again.
and I had to. That's why I got That's why I got good with Lucio. It's the only thing I could play to actually win. So, anyway, you guys talk about this.
Well,
Whatever.
we'll move on into the world of WoWcraft.
Oh, you guys do that.
I still don't understand what the story is with WoW.
You don't under Okay, so you know who Method
Illidan's
is.
good,
you
but
know
he's
who Method
bad.
is, though, right? The
I'm
radio-
gonna
know
get
that
water
too,
while
yeah.
you guys address this.
Oh, okay. I hate WoW. What?
What
Eat
has
your cat. Your
happened?
cat's typing on my notes.
Oh.
Boom.
Very
Okay.
important addition.
So, the background here is that before the last tier of raiding, a bunch of raiders listed here left Method, which was previously like very much the best guild in the world, and joined this new guild. They took a bunch of players from top tier guilds and made this like super guild called Serenity that was supposed to get world first and was supposed to kill Gul'dan
And they did
before
pretty good,
everybody
too.
else. And they did really
They did
well.
pretty good, too.
Serenity did get second, but they
Yeah.
didn't win, and they were pissed because of it. Like, a bunch of
It
people
was
left. They had roster issues nonstop.
It was a
Even-
Korean guild, wasn't it, that got first?
No, it was a Russian guild, Exorcist.
It was a
that got
Russian guild.
first. So, Serenity, they just had... The thing is, they didn't have issues after the raid, and not only just before or after. They had issues in the middle of the raid. Like,
Yeah.
for example, mid-progression, like, one of the healers just didn't show up. Like, you can't do
In a
that.
top tier,
You
like-
cannot do that
like,
in a
we're
world
gonna get
first
the
guild.
first, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, you spend those 2 weeks and you kill the boss, but they just
Right.
didn't show up. And then, like, pretty much this is the statement about these 4 players, Fragments, Lazo, Genji, and Deep Shades, that are now joining back to Method, because before they had left Method because they're like, oh, we don't like SCO, we don't like the leadership in this guild, so we wanna win, and we don't think y'all
Yeah.
can win. And then
Yeah.
but the thing is, Method has proven that they are resilient and that they are stable. So I think,
And that's a huge deal.
yeah, especially
Like-
especially right now in WoW, because WoW is grindier than ever. because of all of the war forging and the titan forging, being able to pull a
You just gotta get
legendary out
those-
of a fucking bag, like
Yeah.
so
Right,
it's
and
very
the legendary
taxing.
grind.
Yeah, you just have to play like crazy so people get burnt out.
And these
Like
guys,
Randy-
this is like their lives.
Like
And-
Randy, he means he repetitive task over and over.
Yeah, you just run dungeons over and over again and hope you get gear. But not
Until
only
you
do you hope
grind
that you get the correct
That
piece
shit
of gear,
out of there.
you hope that you get the correct piece of gear
Yeah.
and it's upgraded, which is like a chance on a chance, which is just dumb. But I just wanted to
And-
touch this because my WoW guild died this week.
Rip in
On
peace.
Wednesday,
Randomly, just like-
just randomly on Wednesday, I was playing Quake with Daniel, and then it was just like, oh, I gotta get off to raid. Look at Discord.
Like,
oh,
Where's the
we're
guild?
not raiding anymore, guys, because people
Oh,
got
hey,
burnt
well,
out.
what?
But that's the reality of WoW right now. The reality is that it's super
Yeah,
frustrating, and there's a lot. It takes a lot to get very little, and it's just not rewarding anymore. So,
But they're gonna do a
that's all
stat
I wanted to
rollback,
talk
aren't they?
about there.
Mhm.
Let's just move along to the Google I/O because I thought this was a cool event. I don't know if y'all follow the Google
Yeah,
events.
I did.
Um,
I caught up with it, and like,
I'm
Get
actually
wrecked, Siri.
not.
just get wrecked, Siri.
Yeah, Siri's fucked because Google
Siri's
is
fucked?
going. Google is going all in on the AI and
Google
Oh,
all
is
the search.
Google
Yes,
is
uh,
going deep learning on basically an personal assistant.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh damn.
So here,
Secretaries.
let me
watch
find
out.
some here's an example. Like, you have an app that you've just installed, but you've logged on to it on Chrome before. There's your Twitter. It just puts in your credentials for you.
Yeah, this
Autofill
is-
apps. They also have what was that other thing that they had? Oh, the Google Assistant. You can now type into Google Assistant. As you
Yeah,
can
there's a
see
little-
here.
whoa, explain the. Shut up, freaking autoplay. Anyway, yeah, no, it has a lot of like littles. Like, for example, Google Home can now make phone calls. Google Home can now give you visual alerts. So, for example, it'll turn red to tell you there's traffic nearby, so you know to leave
To let you
sooner
know
or
it's in
whatever.
kill mode.
Exactly, so that it'll turn purple whenever it's time to take over the world. But the thing is, assistant, the fact that it was a thing to do, but the fact that now it can do actions and it can interact with websites for you, like you can literally say Google Assistant, I want to order Panera, and it puts you through with a digital like
So many
well-
impulse buys.
Yeah, that's
vocal, yeah.
I'll be like,
imagine
man, I
the
really need a new plunger.
implications. It's
2
like you
weeks
throw
later
your
at my door.
phone, and then it does it because it's like, what information do you need for that? You need your address, you need what product you want, and your payment information. Who has that? Google.
Yeah, no,
Because you use
and
your
and
phone, it already knows all of it.
And it knows your schedule too. So like it's 6 p.m. You got company over, and Google's like now displaying some tiggle bitties.
That's
Like-
actually like that's actually one of the features kind of like that. They're introducing
Yeah.
making Google Home more active, like proactive. That's what they said, right? That
Hmm.
they were going to like make it light up kind of when you
Yeah.
have
When
an
there's
event coming
something-
up, like say there's traffic and you need to leave earlier for this concert.
Hmm.
Google Home's gonna light up, and then you'll be like, "Hey Google, what's up?" It's like it'll tell you. It's like there's suddenly traffic. There's an accident. You're gonna need to leave 10 minutes earlier. Like that is
Yeah.
nuts.
the
That's
fact,
pretty nuts, actually.
but for me it's just the actions on Google Assistant. The fact that just like you don't ever have to call in for like delivery or pickup or anything or
Just ask your
you don't
phone.
have to. Yeah, exactly. You don't even have to rely on it, and as proven just by technology, most of the times a call to like a a digital voice or anything will go smoother than a call with a person.
Mhm.
Like it's
I don't
easier
know.
it's easier for them to understand. Well, unless you get really picky, it's easier for them to understand pizza with pepperoni because
Mhm.
it's a lot less to fail. Especially when you're doing it with your phone and there's no like signal loss, reception loss, or anything with between you and another person. And yeah, like I don't see any delivery company like any Domino. I don't see Domino's being like, no, we
Yeah.
don't want to add in this
Yeah.
to our.
Oh yeah,
like,
It's like, please, just like
Like-
make it easier for
Yeah.
them.
yeah.
honestly.
If this means we have to hire one less person that takes in the calls, or like you bring it in.
Yeah, thanks,
So-
Google.
Yeah, Google Photos, it's now physical too for some reason, so that's a thing.
Oh yeah, they're having that. What's that? Like Google Assistant photos. Like you can take pictures with Google Assistant now.
Yes, it's
Reactions, right?
To what end?
what no, I don't think it's basically you can take pictures and you can guess what the
Oh,
picture
here it
is
is.
of,
Google Lens. Google Lens.
Hmm.
So
but it's
So it
Google.
can, like spoof
Here, I'll
captures
just-
or
Today
what?
we are announcing a new
No,
initiative
it'll just
called
take a
Google Lens.
picture, analyze it as be like, okay, this is a
Google
lily
Lens is a set
flower,
of
or this is
vision-based computing
the
capabilities
Oh, I
Empire
see.
State Building,
can
or
understand
it's
what
and it'll
you're
show you
looking
more
at
information
and
on
will
it.
help
It'll
you take
I've
action
got a
based on
program
that
actually just
information.
like that.
We'll ship it
Aims for
first in
identifying
Google
plants.
Assistant and Photos, and it'll come to other products.
yeah. Well, the idea
So
here
how
is
does
that
it work? So for
So it just
example, if
trolls
you run into
through
something
the
and you
Google
want to know what it is,
database and
say a
says, "Well, that's
flower,
that."
you can invoke Google
I
Lens
think
from
this
your
is still
assistant,
like a
point your
very
phone at
niche
it, and
app.
it can
Like
tell you
it's
what flower it is.
no,
It's
just
like-
Yeah.
It's great
check,
for
check
someone
out the
like me
video
with
because
allergies.
like not only
Yeah.
can you take a picture of
Or if
something,
you've ever been at a
they
friend's
added a
place and you've crawled under a
translation
desk
feature, and it's
just to get
nuts.
the username
This is
Absolutely.
another
Well-
crazy
Wi-Fi
thing. You can take a
router.
picture of their Wi-Fi
can
and
point
log
your
onto
phone
their
at it.
Wi-Fi without having to type
No
it in.
kidding.
yeah. That one is pretty cool. Like the fact that it can read text,
And we
not,
can
but not
automatically
only
do
read
the hard
text,
work
but
for you.
put it in context. Like
Or
you
if you're
know, oh,
walking
this
in
is
a
a,
city
a network name.
downtown
This
and
is
you
a
see a set of restaurants across
that's
you,
nuts. The Google
can point your
Translate, it
phone
was already
because we
available
know
on
where you
Yeah,
are,
that's
on
and
true.
we
Google
have our
Translate
knowledge
app,
graph,
so-
we know
Integrated
what you're
into
looking at.
Assistant.
We can give you the
Oh,
right
and the map
information
feature.
in
Yeah,
a
the map one
meaningful
was
way.
like, I just like that.
As you
That's
can
when
see,
if I had glasses, I
we're
would have put them
beginning
down.
to understand
Yeah.
images
Like the,
and
the
videos.
fact that you can be here on the street
All of
and
Google
just
was
point your
built
phone
because we started
at a shop
understanding
and it'll
text
tell
and web
you like the
pages.
information
The
about
fact
it.
that computers can understand
Like-
images and videos.
That is really cool.
I mean,
I want to
Yeah.
see that integrated with Google Glass
Yeah.
and just have a whole
I think
augmented
that's the
reality
idea.
experience. That'd be really cool. Yeah.
I think
There's
that's the idea.
actually with Google Glass you can like create a document and you can like stick it to your cabinet, and whenever you look at your cabinet, that document is there like a post-it note, like a virtual post-it note.
Hmm.
And with that kind of integration, that is so freaking cool.
No,
Like
I think right now Google it's above the level of like Apple was with the iPhone and
Yeah.
really it's just the company to be following right now.
Yeah.
Because they just need to like I wish they were just smaller because they seem to just grab their
Well-
apps and just try to make them
Yeah.
as wide as possible. Just
they're making
cast
everything,
the-
and they just forget about the one that they made yesterday.
they try to cast a really wide net, which is fine, but sometimes it's a little bit too overwhelming. Like, and they constantly do it from Google Plus to now
What,
like
Google, remember the Google Spaces that
Yeah,
we
Google
used for like
Spaces,
10 seconds?
Google Wave, which was
Yeah,
like
Google
Spaces,
2
Wave.
days. Like
Jesus
it's
Christ.
one of those things that's like these all look cool.
I
Is
mean,
it going to stick?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
mean, just
going
think of
to
the
stick?
messaging apps they have right now. They have,
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
Google Talk, which became
They have-
Hangouts. They have,
they have Allo right now. And,
Allo, Duo.
yeah.
Duo.
They have, I think there's one more in there somewhere, but oh, Messenger. They also have
Messenger.
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 They have
Google
so
Messenger.
many messaging apps. It is stupid. Like,
So, it does make me wonder: is this one of those things that are like is Google's Lens a thing that's gonna stick, or is it just another iteration that's gonna be better on the next app, and the next app that comes after it is the one that we're gonna use? Because
think-
right now, it's very niche to just use, like, how often do you need to like, you're rarely at a new house to connect to
Yeah.
a network and take a picture, like.
But I mean, it's
School-
like the little convenient things, especially like it depends on how people use it, because I think Google's going all in on Assistant right now, and since that shit's integrated into Assistant, like you'll be able to use Assistant for translations, for checking the hours on a building that you don't know the name of or something, but it knows the location
Or the reviews.
Yeah, the reviews.
The fact that you can be on a street and be like, I don't know what to, like, you solve the I don't know what to eat, because you just point your phone. Oh, between these three, this one has a higher review, so let's all go to that. Like, or just based on their name, you can't tell what they say. Oh, this one serves Italian. Let's go to, like, the fact that you can do that. It's pretty crazy.
Also, low key, Yelp already had that feature years ago. Nobody just ever used it. I don't know if y'all knew about that, but it wasn't like the one that we saw. Like, it is not pointed at a storefront. The Yelp one was just based on GPS. So you pointed in a direction, and it would show you everything in that direction. And honestly, like when I was exploring the city,
that one.
I thought that was kind of cool. Like, I'm in a city I've never been before. I don't care where I eat. I just don't know I don't know what to look for, right?
The thing I didn't like about Yelp is their shady reviews. Like, I don't know about recently, because in Europe Yelp is not big. But the thing that I didn't like was their shady review, because I'm like, I don't like, for as shady as a site is, like, I'm not gonna, it'll take a lot for me to stop using it, because if it's useful for me, alright, sure. G2A shady, I'm never gonna use it. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things that's like, but this one affects me, because I don't know if the restaurant I'm going to just happen to have more money and pay for reviews, or the restaurant that I'm missing out on, it's the one that's why I never used Yelp, because it never, the shadiness affected me directly, basically.
Yeah, because you don't know if the reviews for the place you're going to are legitimate. But there is one bad thing that came out of Google's new Android O, and that's the blob, the death of the blob emoji. This one has affected me personally.
Indeed.
I don't know about y'all, but I love the blob emoji. Maybe you never saw it, Daniel, because you always had a shitter Samsung phone, but...
No, I saw them.
emoji
Yeah, I
great.
saw them. I mean, I only switched to Samsung on like September, October.
Yeah.
I only switched to Samsung. That, like, the thing is that
It
it's
makes
just
sense. I know why they're doing it.
yeah, exactly. It's like us as a
It doesn't make sense.
society. No, us as a society are still trying to find the generic emote.
Yeah,
The
the emotes do. I don't know. It's really awkward that this is a discussion at all, but like when you're thinking about it, the emoji do need to be consistent from platform to platform, and that's why this has to be done.
I don't think it's
Do they?
a weird
No.
discussion. I don't think it's a weird discussion, because it just makes the symbol more like it makes it universal, like the stop sign.
Yeah,
Or,
Here,
It's
let
it's weird, but it's a part of culture.
Let me show you this. See, so I mean, like, there's not like distinct differences, but a lot of people, like, especially teenagers, use fucking emoji to convey emotions, right? So
everybody uses
instead,
it.
but the
Not-
thing
not
is,
even teenagers.
I know, but the thing is, teenagers are also guilty of not knowing how to communicate with one another using their
okay,
words.
yeah,
So
sure.
then they're like, "Oh, you
The little, like,
misinterpreted an emoji," and then that costs you a friendship sometimes in high school. Things are fickle like that. We've all been.
Yeah,
there.
if you don't send
It's just the new drama.
if you don't say the tongue sticking out, then you might as well
That's some
insult their
serious
mother.
shit.
Yeah.
You might as well,
Exactly.
like, you that's like family trouble right there.
I mean,
But-
I understand because it needs to be. You need to know the emotion that people are conveying, and sometimes, like some people were saying that the Android emoji didn't transfer directly to what the other people were seeing on iOS or
Well,
whatever.
Yes, I agree. That's what I was gonna get to. Just for comparison's sakes, there should be a standard, and the fact is that there isn't, and someone has to strive for that, and it's either you trying to get your other team to switch to you, or you trying to have your uniqueness, but stick with the consistency of others. And Google was the one that stuck out, and it's great. Like there were cute emojis, but they were confusing sometimes.
All I know is that Google's allowing you to download your own emoji packs as part of Android O, and I'm getting my blobs back. I don't give a shit.
That's I think how most apps should implement it. They should have a standard, but have you download your own.
It's like
and
that way
then-
it's your fault. If somebody misunderstands
And-
you, it's your fault.
Exactly, and I think psychologically it makes for people more sense because they're like, "Oh, I didn't understand this." Well, it might be my emoji icons that I downloaded, like
Yeah. It's like,
Whereas-
oh, I'm seeing something else, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, I actually have a funny story, and I mean, I talk with my mom every day, so it's probably like very, very inside, like a bunch of conversations. Anyway, one of my friends, like long time friend, but I haven't kept up with them for a long time. She like passed away, and I was talking to my mom, and she sent me like the mad emoji face on Android, like she sent me basically like semicolon asterisk, not asterisk, at, because she was just angry because this is a Venezuelan friend, and at that point we weren't sure, but we were thinking that the situation over there is what sort of caused this. And she sent me that as angry, but the blob emo just make it look confused a little
Yeah.
bit, and it just
Oh.
like.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I understand,
like-
I know what I get it, but it's like my friend passed away, and had I not known that, I would have I could have been offended, or had
Yeah.
I been not talking to my mom, maybe I didn't second guess it or something. So
I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing to consider because it's like, do we blame the emoji we're using, or like at what point is it the person's fault for not conveying their message along the way they want to? Like, I don't know. I guess it is removing a point of failure, you know? Like, it's
Yeah,
removing the
exactly.
possibility for two people
Exactly.
seeing different things. Because now you can just at least be like, all right, me and you saw the same thing, but you understood it in a different way, and I can't do anything about that.
yeah,
Exactly. That does make sense.
yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it was easy to think, like, why do emojis matter? Like, why should we even need to change this? But that's, as strange as it is, it's very true that
What a
it
world we
does
live in.
matter because it affects the message. That's just how we communicate today. And God damn it, why can't we just keep the blob? Like, why can't we have standard blob?
Exactly. Like at this point, you have to blame WhatsApp for not thinking of the blob.
I mean, I
you
think
know.
a lot of the other manufacturers were super lazy with their emoji. I think HTC
Yeah.
and Google had it right. Everybody else had lazy shit emojis. But honestly,
Samsung-
look at these new ones.
I had an
Couldn't they do a better
LG. The
job
LG
at
emojis
least?
were awful.
Like, why do they have
The new
shading?
ones.
What's the shade for?
I don't know. Wait, what do you mean? No.
Every
The
single
new
one
one.
has shading. Look.
Yeah. That's just okay. That's just in design right now. The gradients are in. Just
really?
don't question it. Okay, just don't question it.
It doesn't look good on something
Just
that's
let it in.
small.
Just let. Just let the tip in, okay, and then just let the I've had to come to accept it. I've come to like it.
Conversation is
Okay, it gets comfortable
You like
after
the
a
fucking
while.
gradients? These emoji are like 10 by 10 pixels.
They're not so flat
You
anymore.
can't
That's
have
why
a
I'm-
gradient on something that small.
Dude.
Okay, if they were shitty, we were talking about the grading. We were talking about why they look like flags, like half color and half another color. The fact that Google was able
Flag
to
emojis. Whoa.
make a really good, decent gradient at that level, I've come to not question Google's design because every single time it comes out, it impresses me. Or later on, I learn how it impressed me. So I've come to not question it.
I'll never forget my dancing blob. It's gone
It is-
now, but do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember the dancing blob with the dress?
The
Me
blob
too.
was.
Thing.
You
I
sent
mean,
me
we
that
will,
blog.
we will still have the stickers. Like those are not going away. Technically, we could still have the blob stickers too.
Yeah, this one right here. This one used to be a dancing blob. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it
She
used
lost
to.
a little weight.
Uh,
And dyed her skin a little bit there.
I mean, that's just like at this point, it's just
I'm glad that we're
What's
getting
that?
new cats at least. The cats I always thought that Google's cats look stupid.
they were a little like I understood what they were going for, kind of
It was very
orangey cat.
simplistic. Yeah, the thing I hate the most is that people are saying that one of the reasons that Android is updating their emoji is because the new ones match material design. They don't. They don't match material design like at all.
I mean, they're more materialistic than WhatsApp.
But they're not more materialistic than what they had before. Like these were very
No.
solid colors that were like, I don't know.
No, but I mean, at this point, it's just I've got to trust Google, and I think this is the direction
Google
emojis should go
contradicts
anyway.
Themselves a lot. Yeah, I just want
Like,
more
it's-
fucking blobs, man.
And you'll get to download your pack. I'm pretty sure the blob stickers are still gonna stick around. Anyway, move on from the freaking emotes.
We spent a long time
We're
on
gonna-
blobs.
We're gonna move on and go to talk about Overwatch. There's not that much
You
to
mean
say.
it's
There's not much
still
I have to say
Overwatch.
about here. I'll let you have this one, Jordan.
I've been with Overwatch for a year now. It's turning 1. They're having an event. You know, that's one thing that they've been really good about is continued support for the game. They've released new heroes. It makes me think that they already had the heroes and they were just kind of holding them to be released
It's Blizzard.
periodically throughout the year. I wouldn't put it past Blizzard to have like 10 heroes ready right now.
The thing is with Blizzard, like they have the heroes ready, and Michael, no, we're not moving to the emoji movie. They have the heroes ready, but it's not like they have them paused. Like they're still playing them every day and play testing them and like and like
True.
changing it. But yeah, they could release like a million heroes
Yeah.
right now.
And they know how much the community aches about balance. After dealing with World of Warcraft for like 15 years, 17 years, WoW's been out. You
WoW
know,
has not
people
been out
always
for
ache about
17 years.
17 years? It came out in
13,
2013.
2004.
2004.
Oh
Okay,
god.
that's
Okay.
96. Like,
This is now
it's like the sense of time now.
Yeah.
But
I
Yeah,
have to say,
but that's something too.
I don't like Overwatch competitively, but for casuals, it's great. It is
I think
great
Truly.
for casuals, and
They were-
it's bringing a lot more people into the scene.
I mean they were aiming for a thing. They were. I mean Blizzard just laser targets the market they want. They were trying to FPS are
You
going
mean
up.
everyone.
With
It's-
you're right.
That's the
like,
target market
with
for
the hero
Overwatch.
cast,
Yeah, no,
it's
like,
literally
basically, okay.
the world.
Okay, you see like a laser where the nuke is gonna land, but it's still a fucking giant nuke.
Yeah.
Like they're
Like,
still.
fucking- They're getting everybody with this game. They're like, all right, we gotta make our characters diverse. You know, it's
Yeah,
not gonna be
they
offensive.
really
We're
do.
not gonna have lewd jokes or anything.
But it
Be
all
kid-friendly. It's
it's
And,
all so natural. Like it all belongs. At no point you feel like,
it's true.
oh, this character is straight token, like a straight token, or this is a force. Like you know, when Tracer came
don't
out
know.
as lesbian,
They are
that, like,
forcing
just
the
made sense.
diversity. I think.
not really.
In the
Not like
character
an.
design, they are forcing the diversity in that they're making sure that every single character is like very like racially, culturally
PC.
diverse. Like
No,
that
because
part,
they're all unique too. Like by themselves as
Yeah,
a
of course it's
style, they're
unique.
all unique.
2016.
But the thing is, it's like, I mean, you can't really question if something like that is organic or not, like because they're setting it up.
Well, at that point, it comes from the interpretation, and I think in comparison with other works, this one feels like very organic. Like at no point does the mechanics try to blend with what the character. Like at no
It's
point it
true.
becomes like it's natural that Sombra is that way. At no point does her dressing up. It's essentially like out there Mexican, or when it is like that, like May or whatever. It like nothing about the color, her mechanics. I don't feel like May is a forced Chinese character. Like she just happens to be Chinese.
South
That's cool.
African robot.
It-
A
Okay.
weird thing for me.
like yeah, it's the future, and
You just gotta get
robots
that culture in there. Like, culture is definitely a big part of the game.
Oh, it's a huge
And it's
part of it.
actually one of the things that I enjoy least about the game is the culture. I pride myself in loving stories in games, but with Overwatch, I distance myself from that, and I just look at it from a gameplay standpoint, a mechanic standpoint.
I agree.
Because it
makes
doesn't-
it hard to care about because they're trying to make it
Yeah.
so realistic all the time. You know, like it's
Yeah.
in the world. It's like these
And
are
then you're like
places that you
murdering
can
all
go
these
to,
people.
and it's just
You're like,
like,
oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, so like I don't want to be emotionally attached with the person I'm spawn camping.
The thing is that the issue that I raised, the example that I raised, is also a problem. The fact that nothing in the game goes with the story that they're trying to build, whatsoever. Like, what the gameplay doesn't fit with the idea of what the story is,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
it's
They-
two teams fighting against each other, which is true in the story, but it's you can have two mates on each team, and there's no
Yeah.
explanation whatsoever
Yeah.
to that. Or
They've I think they've done a decent job with kind of like hinting at things like the payload maps. At first it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But now the story's coming out, and yeah. And so like, why am I delivering this gauntlet all
Yeah.
the way across the map? Like, that's still to be seen. But for others, they released the man versus machine mode, where it explains why you're delivering this payload and why you're
Mhm.
fighting robots, what it was all for. It's a neat little story thing they've done, which a lot of FPSs don't really do. Like,
Yeah.
have story like that.
They try nowadays. They try to avoid story or be only story, not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
truly.
also
I
a lot of like.
think like Halo or
There's a lot
Gears
of
of War,
forced esports games
Call of
right now.
Duty. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
and
Overwatch was definitely going for the esports view.
the thing is that I don't. It makes sense, yes, and it's good that there's a variety, but at the same time, esports came to be just out of spontaneity, and that's how esports like
Yeah. That's
The-
kind of how it came about.
it. And for example, that's why there's so many like variety in esport games, because there's a flow in and out of what's the current esport, and when it's forced, it kind of tries to jump into that flow, and sometimes it doesn't fit, sometimes it doesn't stick.
I completely agree. And when you engineer it to be an esport, it seems almost it seems artificial. It doesn't flow, just like you say.
Yeah, it seems a little like, although I think, for example, Hearthstone it's maturing very well right now. I'm keeping my eye on it. I don't
You
play
think
it, but I
so?
think
It's
I think-
Hearthstone? I don't know.
No,
it's coming along. Hearthstone.
it's coming along. Like, I'm not saying that right now it's like great. I'm saying that like in 2 years from now, once once they figure out this format, once they figure out the balance, once they figure out how the game, because Hearthstone is just a beta that just built out, like, you know, just like
Yeah.
I guess it's been around so long, it's no longer a beta, guys. So let's just take off the beta part of it. But in reality,
just like one day, just like knocks off the edge there.
Yeah, TM's got
in
a
reality-
good point over here in chat, though. Like,
yeah.
he's saying that he wants game devs to think about esports while they're designing the game instead of like trying to put it together after and being like, oh, we
like
didn't
an observer
realize
mode, yeah.
we didn't
Yeah.
realize that people wanted to play this game against each other at a high level. Oh, come on, that's gonna happen in any game. Like even with
And I
single
mean-
player games, you have speed running, like time trials. It's
And
always
that's why you
there.
can't have story.
Yeah, but
like,
but speedrun is something that the speedrunners are meant to figure out based on how the game was built.
That's true.
Like that's
I'm just saying
that's not for developers, but
that's
esports, especially when Blizzard, like when the Overwatch was coming out, was already like talking about tournaments. Of course, you need to like. Why does not have a framework for tournaments
yeah.
when you're releasing a game that you're already
Really?
talking about?
I mean,
having
I just
tournaments?
remember like before in Overwatch, like you couldn't spectate people, right?
Mhm.
Like didn't they patch that?
hmm,
Well,
I
I
forget.
know it was maybe I'm thinking of Hearthstone, but Hearthstone before you couldn't observe people.
Oh
and
yeah,
in
yeah,
fact,
yeah. No,
There is still no observer mode. There is no true
Well,
observer mode in Hearthstone.
I don't-
They have to
I don't
observe one player at a time.
yeah, I don't think Hearthstone was
Hmm.
meant to be an esport. That one, I think they were just trying to do a spin-off of WoW, and they just cut up a little bit because people were fed up with Magic or
I mean, the thing is,
Magic
like,
spin-off.
when they made that game, how could they not think that people would compare it to Magic? Like,
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is that Magic,
or
and
Yu-Gi-Oh.
that's what's well, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what's his and whoever makes Yu-Gi-Oh right now fall for, like, they could be a great game and way bigger than it is now. They just haven't figured out yet, and they needed something like Hearthstone to come around and be like, you can actually have this blown up.
I
Like,
mean, I
just-
think the breakthrough that Hearthstone had is that, hey guys, we have this collectible card game that you can play on your phone. Like,
Yeah.
boom,
Well-
drop the fucking mic. Like,
It's exactly. Not only that, like an actually pretty decently complex with
Yeah.
decisions. It's RNG
But it's
as fuck
also
compared
simple.
to Magic, but it's also simple. It has decisions. It has a pretty good decision tree. There's a lot of there's a very nice skill gap. Not a big one, but a nice skill gap between the ranks that they got. But a very
gotta
big one
define
between
meta.
the lowers and the top tiers. It just hit pretty well, and
Yeah.
I
And it-
think it's evolving well, and it's evolving rapidly, and they're addressing it well. Do I think right now it's good? No, that's why I'm not playing it. Like, I try it, and I'm like, this is still crap for me. Like,
that's
but
why I
they're
don't
figuring
play
out the
Overwatch.
formats. They're figuring out how strong can spells be before it just completely breaks the balance.
Yeah.
They're figuring out how
And
important
it's
random
expensive
is.
too. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, you have
like
to buy
you're,
every
you're gonna drop a
expansion,
lot on packs.
or
Yeah,
play
for every expansion,
every day.
just to
Yeah,
be
but I
relevant.
mean- I mean,
you
Magic
gotta
is
buy it.
like Magic is like meth. You're spending on
Yeah.
it every week. So
Yep.
But
anyway,
at least there's tourney drafts in Magic,
Yeah,
so you don't
yeah.
have to. Yeah, so you can play with somebody
well,
else's cards.
I can have an entire show on freaking Magic
we'll,
and
we'll
how it's
come
broken.
back to
Yeah.
that some other time. Let's
That's
take
gonna be
it
a good
back to
show.
Overwatch and then move on. So
It's good.
Overwatch is going to be free to play. Is it this weekend or next
African
weekend? that
Robots.
free to
It's
play?
May 22nd to May 26th, if I remember correctly.
Oh, so it's going to be free to play this entire week. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
for a while.
So it's free to play this entire week, and on May 23rd, the Game of the Year edition is coming
If
out.
I
It's going to
remember.
replace the Origins edition, and you get all this crap with it.
New skins.
Like as
Buying it
usual,
twice.
you get
Loot
loot
boxes.
boxes, Heroes of the Storm, World of Warcraft,
Yeah,
Diablo 2,
right.
StarCraft
All the
2,
Blizzard IPs.
Your
Hearthstone.
Your entire
Right.
Blizzard collection
Yeah.
in one package, ladies and gentlemen.
Get out of here, Old
Yeah.
Spice.
I mean, let's go to talk from one new person into the one video game company into another one.
Right? Speaking of empires, Mario Kart
I don't know.
is destroying everything.
I mean, okay, hold on. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch library right now. Zelda, Mario Kart.
Zelda. Splatoon? Not yet.
That one comes in July. ARMS comes
Bomberman.
out in like
Binding
2
of
weeks.
Isaac.
We don't talk about Bomberman. Binding of Isaac.
It's so
Okay,
good.
I guess some people play the thing they
But
call a game.
Playing a roguelike handheld, it's the best. I have to tell you, like,
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
consider getting it, Daniel, because playing just
I wanna
Binding
no,
of
I
Isaac,
wanna
you
get
can pick it up and put it down easily.
I wanna get Enter the Gungeon and Hollow Knight for like that's why I want a Hollow Knight to be because I'm like oh crap I have a Switch I can start playing it on my trip right now like and then I went to check and it's still not out for coming soon on Nintendo Switch and I'm like can soon be in the next 2 or 3 days please.
Well, it's time to reschedule your trip.
Seriously like I'm about to call into Australia so can you guys let me know.
Michael, is
It's really
Disgaea
check.
5 is Disgaea 5 releasing in the US? Because I know that you can buy it
Yes.
on the Japanese eShop.
No,
and-
it's
Oh, it is
releasing
also
in the US.
globally?
It's releasing in the US.
Because the funny thing is, Disgaea is available on the Japanese eShop only right now, except it has an English translation mode, which is interesting.
Yeah, no, it released in Japan in March. Oh no, I guess Disgaea 5. Oh, that's PS4. It released in Japan in March, and
Yeah, it
here
was
in
launched
NA
now.
it's coming out in May 23rd.
Another good one, Puyo Puyo Tetris. Puyo Puyo Tetris is fucking amazing, by the way. Like, and also the unsung
And
hero,
difficult.
the unsung hero snipper clips. Like,
Snipper
Yeah,
snipper
yeah.
clips is
Truly.
really good for just this
Better-
random IP. And then they
better
also have the
than,
failure 1-2
uh,
switch. Fuck 1-2 switch.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen it before. Snipper clips, like not anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And 1-2 Switch is just like they didn't try, or at least they spent way too much on like actors for some reason.
And then
I think-
Go ahead.
I think the reason that Mario Kart did so well is because if you bought Zelda, you already finished it, and you're like, I need
Yeah, it's like, I need my
something.
Switch to do something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I am going to work now without playing anything. Like I need something to play now. Like and Nintendo's like, well, have this.
I
Here
mean,
you go.
a big thing to note about
And
Mario
they've-
Kart 8 Deluxe is that it came out on April 28th, and it still topped the April charts. Like, how the
Yeah.
hell? Like, people were like, "Oh, Nintendo's
Yeah.
re-releasing the same game," except the difference is
It had
everyone
3
has
days.
everyone has or wants a Switch. People are buying Switch games before they have a Switch because they're worried that the games will sell out as fast as the consoles do. So then, a couple like in March, you had people that had Zelda but didn't have a Switch.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
what?
technically, I was one of them.
Yeah,
Technically,
yeah.
I was.
I
No
had your
toaster, but no
copy.
bread.
I was the
I had-
asshole that bought an extra copy of Zelda, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Technically,
monster.
thanks to you.
You've ruined some child's Christmas.
Thean, you can buy Switch games online, but the console only comes with 32 gigabytes of memory, right? And it only takes in micro SD cards, which right now you can only get to 256 gigabytes, but for like over $100.
Hella
No, I
expensive,
got a
yeah.
well that for that size.
No,
yeah,
for
but
the 256, yeah, exactly. For 128, you
I
can
paid
get it for
40
like
bucks. It was
yeah,
on
you
sale.
can
It's
get
not bad. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
you can get like regularly at 60, 70, and then on sale you can obviously go lower. And the thing is that people don't want to get an SD card until they get like a 1 terabyte one because they're like, what if
I don't know.
they're sending a game that's
Does
very
it
big?
exist?
I feel like
Yeah,
Nintendo
they're coming
games
out.
are generally
Holy
pretty
shit.
small compared to the other people. Like you got people bitching about their Xbox Ones and PS4s being full
Yeah.
because GTA is 60 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with the online
Three
service,
different
Nintendo
hooker presets.
with
Oh, sorry,
with the online service, Nintendo's gonna give you one free game every month, and it's probably gonna be very small, but like, and ideally they'll want you to buy like the question is, how good is online gonna be for Nintendo?
That's
Right
the
now.
big elephant in the room for sure.
That's the-
Because no
that-
one knows. We won't
Yeah.
know until Splatoon, I bet. Like
And,
Arms is coming out,
and the
but
boxing
we
game,
won't
Arms,
really
yeah.
know until Splatoon's out.
Yeah, and technically, the true call is when it's released in the fall. That's their sort of like, because that's when they introduce voice lobbies. That's when they introduce game lobbies through an app. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, when you have lobbies, you've got manners.
It's
That's one reason why.
that's why Nintendo hasn't done it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So one more thing about Mario Kart 8. I don't know if y'all read this article beforehand, but it's pretty funny. So there was this emote that
Oh,
I don't
yes,
think that
yes.
you could do it. I think it's when you win. The Inkling girl would do this. This is the old one, right? So she would just make the gesture where she puts
And
the...
excuse me, viewers. I mean,
It's
excuse
just-
me, viewers. I'm gonna
As
recreate
you
that.
win.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so offended right now.
Talk about manners. Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's an insult in South America, but like, you'll be lame as fuck if you were doing that. Like, that's for old people, dude.
Yeah, but
I
those are the guys that buy stocks.
exactly.
They gotta do it. Like, it's stupid. You can barely notice it. Here's a new version. It's just they're
Yeah.
putting her arm up. Like, that's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, it goes from putting an arm up to
Just like,
Yeah.
yeah. It has the same. It has the
Function,
same message.
yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
so,
yeah. no,
I just thought it was funny.
I mean, for an for an investor to be like, hey, fix this, or you're not gonna get my
So silly.
however many thousands of dollars anymore. Obviously, Nintendo's gonna be like, sure, Mike, can you do this? This is your job for the weekend, by the way. You have to come back on Monday with this solved.
Put her arm down.
Yes.
Or at least raise a finger. Have fun with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
the finger's
God,
fine.
don't cross that line.
And I mean, it's Nintendo. All right,
The
let's
thumb,
go.
of course.
Let's go to the Injustice and Street Fighter 5 killer.
Oh, here we go.
Oh
The
shit.
Arms Direct.
Gonna be arms.
I got a better article with some
I got
videos.
I got my
You
entitled
want fighting
document.
games? There it is. People are gonna be throwing Wiimotes
Dude, well,
through their TVs
This
yet
is in a
again.
minute. Nintendo Minute. 10 minutes. Oh my god. Whatever. I'm just gonna play this in the background.
Here,
But,
you're
yeah,
Nintendo
so-
time.
today we are taking a look
So
at arms.
I
There's
think
so many things
I
we
think this
have
is
our arms.
it depends on how Splatoon 2 is, but I think also are we allowed to replay this, by the way?
I have no idea. Let's not do that. You're right.
This is
Nintendo,
like
it's Nintendo.
It's,
We're not
yeah,
gonna take a
exactly.
risk. They'll go after
You're gonna
anyone.
knock at the
They'll
door.
go after anybody.
just look at the
We'll just
scroll
look
up
at
and
this
down
one
and down.
and post.
Just-
Yeah, we'll
They'll be
start
there
at-
in
we'll start
30
at the
Nintendo
bottom. Yeah, we'll
seconds.
start at the bottom.
Yeah. So I think this is gonna be the Splatoon of the Switch.
Spoilers.
I think-
We're spoilering the heroes they introduced.
What the? Yeah, there's no spoiler. So I think this is gonna be the Splatoon of the Switch. Pretty sure. Like
You sure Splatoon's
Depend-
not gonna be the Splatoon of the Switch?
they haven't revealed much about Splatoon 2. I mean, they're
Street
going to
Fighter.
like soon, right? But yeah,
Well,
this
they
is
had
Street
the-
Fighter Kill.
They had the global test fire a couple months ago in the Splatoon, and I played it, and it was a lot of fun actually. And ironically enough, I prefer the tilt aiming. I don't know. I think it's actually
kidding.
better because
No kidding.
the Switch controllers, they're $80 for a reason. The Joy-Con, they got some good gyros in there.
Yeah, but you're a
That
small
is-
person with small hands. I'm
Yeah,
not saying my
that's
hands
true.
are big.
I mean, that's always really funny because Nintendo always designs their consoles and their handhelds and controllers for people with small hands, and then I mean, with an exception of the DS XLs,
Yeah.
The people with big hands are like, fucking finally, like I can hold a Nintendo product without my hands cramping. I've never had a
and this-
problem with them, so whatever.
This is the opposite for these people. Like
Yeah.
even some people that have reasonably size hands, they're having problem
They
with the
put down-
Switch.
They
But
Yeah.
I mean,
finally can
for
put down the
arms-
Xbox controllers.
Yeah, except the Pro controller. The Pro controller is basically the same size as an Xbox controller for the Switch.
Yeah.
So in the ARMS Direct, they pretty much introduced a bunch of different arms that were going to be available, and they also introduced a couple new characters. I believe the Mummy is one that they hadn't showcased before.
No, they had
they?
showcased, but
The
I don't
Mummy.
think that. Yeah, I think
Which
they
is the
hadn't
first
showcased the
one.
moves yet for the
Oh
Mummy.
yeah, they showcased each arms, and they
Yeah.
each fighter has signature arms, and there's like stuff like if you use two of the same arm, you get like a power bonus or something. It's probably a terrible idea to use the same arm unless one of them's OP.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's
That's
thing.
that's the problem. It's like, is this gonna be a casual game? Is this something that obviously Nintendo's gonna bring updates and they're gonna bring like new maps or new arms and everything? But it's this something that Nintendo's gonna balance.
I remember there was an event in, I think it was Tokyo or somewhere in Japan, where they brought out a bunch of fighting game players from like Tekken and Street Fighter and stuff like that to play arms against each other, and they were like
No
really
kidding.
intense about it. So it's like maybe it could be a thing. We'll have
Yeah,
to wait and see.
we-
I don't-
Pokken
Might see an arms
tournament.
tournament. That'd be
Pokken
cool.
tournament is at Evo, so
Yeah,
Like,
no.
anything
we
can
could
happen.
see this. We could see this. Obviously, Pokken tournament wasn't like main feature, but we could see this at some sort of
Evo
like maybe not
Japan.
Evo, but yeah, Evo
Ooh.
Japan. It could be anywhere. I think Arms. Nintendo's putting a lot of money and thought into Arms. I think it'll be at least a good game to get.
I'm
Yeah, it
glad
looks
that
phenomenal.
they're just making a new IP. I mean,
Yeah.
they did that with Splatoon,
Yeah.
but then Nintendo has shown that they can keep going. They have ideas still. Thank
Yeah.
God.
No, they have ideas. I mean, they changed Zelda. They finally fixed like
they did
it's
change
one of those.
Zelda. They made it into Skyrim.
And that's what
Thank
people
goodness.
wanted. Like for a million years, we've been like saying it.
It's true.
It's like what had they all they needed to do was like grab like a Japanese kid that has never played video games and give them Ocarina of Time, and then have them play Skyrim, and then the Japanese kid will be like, these are the similar games, because this Zelda is exactly how Ocarina of Time felt the first time you played it.
It's true. You have that sense of wonder and then the sense of scale.
Yeah.
And
Except
big
now
world that
now
opens.
it's actually huge. Like
Yeah.
you're not a little kid staring out at Hyrule Field, which is actually fucking tiny. Which is probably like Hyrule Field is probably the size of the plateau on
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, but like
Yeah,
it's nuts.
it's
I mean, some of these different game modes that they have in ARMS seem kind of weird. Like this is the one that I didn't understand that much. 2v2 with your teammates being chained together. I don't understand the
it's-
point of being chained together.
I think it's just gonna make for interesting, like, just like it's Nintendo's just
I wonder
fun
if you can
mode.
like
Just roll
I wonder if
with
you can
it.
like clothesline people or something. I don't know.
maybe,
Huh.
maybe, but then you have to clothesline too because it's like 2v2, right? I
Ribbon
don't know.
Girl. Of course,
Ribbon
everyone's
Girl.
waifu except they introduced a new waifu, right?
Yeah, they
Let's see,
did.
where is she?
The
Oh, I think
Twin
one
Tail.
of the new characters they introduced was Helix, and he had some interesting arms. There was
They-
the Blorb.
They shown him before,
Yeah,
but they hadn't shown the blur, and it's we'll see. Nintendo likes to do the blind. It's basically like
the
Mario
stun,
Kart's. No, the blinding thing, the blur.
Oh,
It's basically
the
like Mario
jizz.
Kart's ink on
Oh
your
my
screen or whatever.
God. Oh, I see. They do like to do that. Oh, this is a funny one. But Bite and Bark. the police
yeah.
dude with his dog, like he has an ult his ult is to put the dog on his head, and the dog it's like a Megazord. It's so
Yeah, it's
strange.
like a duck helmet.
So like all of the different fighters have unique abilities, and his is that he has a dog.
I mean,
That's pretty
I
cool.
I think the game's looking very cool. Like I think the characters are pretty pretty cool and unique on their own way. I think it's gonna make for fun gameplay. It's just Nintendo gonna balance this. Nintendo gonna take in that feedback
Yeah,
to make the
we'll
game
see.
better. They did it with Splatoon, as far as I know. So the thing is that is this gonna be competitive? I wouldn't be on the
I
on the
don't think
lookout for
so.
it too.
Well,
I wouldn't be. It might get there randomly, but I don't think Nintendo ever
everything
consider it to
everything
That
has a
would
be
little
surprise
bit of
me.
competition.
If
exactly. But I don't think Nintendo ever planned it to
yeah,
be,
I've
or
never,
they're gonna
yeah.
keep no.
I've never seen any Nintendo game as the focus of any tournament.
Melee.
Yeah,
That would
but
be
with Super
yeah,
Smash
really cool.
Brothers,
Arms
Melee.
would be the one. Super Smash Brothers. That's right.
Yeah, people love
Yeah.
Melee. I mean, they
Yeah.
added a waifu to Arms, man. Look at that twin tail. It's basically Bayonetta.
Yeah,
This is the only character in Arms that actually has arms.
Normal
Oh,
arms.
she actually
Yeah.
has.
She has normal
No,
arms.
she uses
She uses her
her
hair.
hair.
See, check it out. She's over here.
But she uses
See,
her
look
hair.
at this. Look at this. Look at this.
No.
This is twin tail. Isn't
Oh
that
my
great?
Fucking God.
She
She
uses
just folds her arms and just beats the
Yeah,
crap
she's
out
like a Hollywood or like a model or something.
she's just
Like
super
a movie
prissy.
star. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's gonna be a fun game. I'm looking to get it. And well, first see reviews and then get it. All right. Next one.
Moving
I don't know
on.
if you guys have read it, but
This is all you.
so- all right. So Nier Automata port for PC. Not the best, 900p. I believe it didn't go up to 60 FPS. I think it was above 30, but I'm not sure to what. It wasn't the best port. A modder, Caldane, whatever his name is, modded it, fixing everything. 1080p, basically like a Dark Souls 1 DS fix. Just making the game fit PC players' needs. And although he modified it so that anyone that's pirating in the game, a screen will come up saying, do you agree not to pirate, do you agree to use this mob and everything fine? But the thing is, since you pirate the game, you obviously don't respect the modder or the game. So when you accept that on that screen, the game doesn't respect your click, and so you cannot play.
That's
And
amazing.
the backlash that comes from
Justice.
yeah, exactly, and the pirate guys have just been like backlashing, saying some comments and remarks to this guy that I will not mention on the show because they are a little bit tough, which is a little bit like you guys like very like you're stealing.
Yeah.
Like fucking deal
Yes.
with it. Like you're not going to jail. Be okay with it.
Yeah, it's like a dude's just fucking with you. It's like, what are you gonna be mad about? You didn't pay for anything.
Right.
And he's
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
enhance a game that you didn't pay for.
Yeah. Why the fuck did you even install his mod? Like it's, I don't even like just fucking keep pirating your game, playing the 900. Like do your shit at one point. I mean, I'm not like clean slate. It's not like I've never pirated anything, but like if it fucks up, that's my
Yeah,
problem
it's
to
your,
deal with.
It's your
You
fault.
have, you
Yeah,
have no right
like-
to be mad.
You have a right, but it's only to yourself for
Well,
doing
okay.
it. So
Any other
Is
thoughts on Nier?
It's
I-
it's an appropriate game for something like this to happen too.
That's true. It's very hacky and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
that, and I think it's one of those games that like people not necessarily like it's not a Mass Effect Andromeda or something, not something that people are looking to get, but they still want to play it. So they're gonna pirate it because it's like, I want to play the game, but I don't want to, you know, pay the money of the artist that did this craft for some random reason. So they're like, you know,
Yeah.
gonna pirate it. So I think
And-
it's a perfect game for this to happen.
Yeah. One thing I did get from the game was like a sense of rightness. Like
Mm.
you are killing these machines, but the machines are exhibiting like human tendencies and emotions and things.
You are
Yeah.
a
And
machine,
you-
aren't you?
And you still can. Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Built-in humankind's image protecting humanity. But it
Sort
kind
of.
blurs
Yeah.
the lines
Yeah.
because the machines are acting human, and you can kill them or you can't kill them. And I think there's an obvious right choice from the endings anyway.
Yeah.
There's 27 endings.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That game has definitely been on my
Some better
list
than
for a
others.
while. I've just acknowledged that I don't have time to play it, so I haven't bought it.
Yeah.
But
It's like-
it's
it-
definitely up there. I'm super
It's
excited
one of
about
those
that.
things that's like, you know, I want to play Nier, I want to play this,
There's
like I want to
so
play The
many
Surge,
good
I want to.
games right now.
Yes,
It's
Exactly.
truly.
overwhelming. It's insane.
And yet we all play Overwatch.
Not me. You can go to hell.
Anymore.
I've been playing.
anymore.
Daniel and I have been playing new shit. We've been playing Quake Champions
Yeah,
beta.
Quake,
which is
yeah.
ending, I think today or something.
Talk
I
about the
believe so,
loading
today,
screens.
later.
Yeah.
God.
Hey man,
I'm-
once you get past
It
loading
took me,
screens,
like,
that game is
5
fucking great.
minutes.
I love
And
that
then-
game.
Once it's
And
loaded,
then I've already
it
died
works.
twice.
I think. See, my theory is that you have to take that long ass load because I think it's building the cache. I think that's why. Because I never had. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
Daniel, but I didn't
The
have
truth-
ridiculous loads after the first day.
No, it for me it still had some ridiculous loads.
Oh really? Okay. Just get a 980 Ti.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, okay. We'll go down to Walgreens.
Yeah, I'll be right back then, alright? Alright. Next topic. Life is Strange 2 is announced. Why? I don't know if you guys have seen that game, a playthrough of Life is Strange, but it's like one of those things that's like, it's like if Gone Home announces Come Home 2, the Revengeance, like, or like, it's one of those things that like, sure there can be a Life is Strange 2, but I rather see the mechanics and the story. Like, I rather see a new, fresh story rather than. And that might be what Life is Strange 2 is. Like, it could
Is
be
it an
a.
RPG? I actually
It's
know
a-
very-
It's a kind of Heavy Rain kind of style game.
Oh, I see ya.
So it's a lot about making decisions, but the main
Mhm.
character has one main superpower, which is control time, so she can go back in time. And she's a teenager that is dealing with your
General
guess-
teenage stuff.
nowadays what is a general teenage style, like her sexuality, her arriving to a new.
Going
She's
to
arriving
grips
to
with the
college.
world and
Yeah,
Going to
exactly.
college, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a drama, there's drugs that are like involved, there's like shady people, there's a murder, so like it does build up. It's not
Yeah.
just your regular everyday like, oh, what do I like, penises or vaginas, I don't know. It's not just that.
Do I do
Um,
meth or cocaine?
But it also goes into the backstory, and it has some pretty intense emotional moments that like it
Yeah.
touches on the idea of alternative realities, and it basically
Cool.
shows her like, you know, at one point there's an intro pass where like she's like, I don't want things to be this way, but I control time, so maybe I can make things not be this way.
And change things, yeah.
And it touches the alternative reality, and in the alternative reality she wanted to make this person better, but this person tells her, my life is shit, kill me, because she's paraplegic. Like, it's one of those
Goddamn.
things that you go like, holy shit, where did this come from?
God damn.
So it's one of those things that's very influential, very deep. Why does it need a second install of itself? Why can't it be, you know, instead of Life is Strange, a new story? Like, why is it Life is Strange too? Why developers are not
Stranger.
saying it? Yeah.
Like, are
One
you
thing
thinking
that-
that they've already covered a lot of this stuff?
They, at no point there were loose ends. Like you can point at places where there are loose ends, but there's the idea of the game was to have loose ends. There's different endings, so of course there's gonna be some endings that clear out some things, but not another. There's basically two main ones, but there's some little ones that you can get off on the sides if you did this or yeah.
Oh, I really dislike time travel. But one question: can she go forward in the future or only backwards?
She can. It's
This is
it's not
very
clear
important.
how her
It's very
like, because-
important.
Yeah, no. Most of the game you can only go backwards as a mechanic that you can use,
Mhm.
but plot-wise, she's basically all over the place.
See, and that's actually really cool. So you can like change your own choices
Exactly.
in the game and see how it would unravel differently. That is really cool.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I have encountered that in games where it's like, man, I shouldn't have killed that shopkeeper. Like,
Yeah,
it
no, exactly.
completely changes the story. That's actually really cool. I
It,
wish
it
more
makes
games
you.
had something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that when I saw one of the streamers play it, basically, you're basically talking to a drug dealer, but you try to get information from him, and you can approach it. You can approach it like very hostile, or you can approach it very calm and try to like get him to surrender it, or you can just like straight up shoot him. And if you don't like what you did, just fucking backwards on it. Oh, he's alive again. Yeah.
Yeah. And like
So-
maybe like in the future you already have the information that you need, so you can change it to have like an ultimate good ending. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
or like an
That's what I do.
ultimate evil ending. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So
Life is Strange too.
I said Life is Strange 2. I don't know. Will it be a different install? That's what I wanted. That's what I want to see. I want to
It's
see.
just-
Don't continue with the characters. The characters are fine the way you left them, I think. Anyway,
Yeah. Like
next
have some
up,
closure. Let's respect them.
next topic. Did you guys know that you can not longer ever buy Alan Wake?
Yep, the license has expired for distribution.
The license has expired.
There are music
Because
licenses
of the
for some.
music, yeah.
Is the music?
hmm
Yes.
So we just have a really silent game.
Well, it's because you can't, like, once your music license expires, you can no longer distribute the media that uses that music.
Oh wow! Who developed that game? They should.
The thing
know
is that apparently it was pulled on Monday, which kind of makes sense because the game came out on this past Tuesday 7 years ago. So
7 years ago, yeah.
people are guessing that the agreement was for 7 years,
Yeah.
and it's just
It's really interesting, though, because this doesn't happen that often. Like,
no,
you're
because
still-
usually you would just
Not
fully buy the rights rather
Yeah.
than buy an agreement for 7 years. But no one really knows who's to blame. It's just one of those things that's like, well, this is gone now. This happened, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never
Viewers
played
can
this
see my
game.
custom Alan Wake soundtrack that I have developed. Discounted version of the game. Coming out, all the gun sound effects are made by yours truly.
Everything is beatboxed.
Can you give us a preview?
Oh,
Michael, yes, they could replace the music, but it's not worth it at all for them. It's a 7-year-old game. Like,
Yeah. In fact,
replace-
I think before, like right before they stopped having it available on stores, it went on like 90% off, right? So they're like, everybody buy this game. Like, this is the last chance.
please.
Yeah, right here. Alan Wake, $4.
$4.
it was
They
on
pulled it.
Steam for $4. Just previous to.
I think
I
that's,
tweet limit.
that's weird though, because like this doesn't ever happen, right? Like this
Right.
has happened to a couple games, but I don't know. Thinking about
Really doesn't.
having the capacity to be able to play the games that you grew up with or games that you liked a while ago, Like
Yeah.
for example,
and-
an MMO
yeah.
that's shutting down, or a multiplayer only game that's shutting down.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like it's kind of like that. It might be like that for some people. I mean, the difference
Yeah.
is you have the game and you can play it still, but
You can't
the
get
it
new
back.
people, no one
You
else
lose
can
it.
ever experience it.
Or if you
Yeah.
wanna get it again because your physical copy like
Yeah, it's like
scratch
the disc is
or
broken
or
something
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's-
And
No, he's
then it's like,
pirated.
nope.
Yeah, it's just like
you know,
it's another
you're
like
gonna have to
one of
break the law to
those.
get it.
It's one of those things that like I consider sometimes because it's like what happens to old games. Like they're just a lot of the time they're just gone and forgotten, and it's like, oh well, you can't get them anymore, and then that's it. Like there's
Yep,
no
stuff.
there's no archive for most of these because they're not a
I mean-
big enough deal.
I mean, they probably made a nice penny just on Monday because of
Oh,
this.
absolutely, sure, making money off of a 7-year-old game, but it's like
Yeah, no,
People are like, oh,
God.
well, I might as well buy it before I go to
rip
buy it.
in peace.
They didn't do it for the hype, did they? I'm always suspicious about hype these days.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
no,
it's
they
out.
won't be able
It's
to
I doubt
answer
it.
that question, but
it's
I doubt
it's
it.
full. You cannot get the game anymore, so I don't think
Yeah.
they did it for
Yeah.
the hype.
Yeah.
And I
It's
really
like a-
doubt that they're gonna go in and change. Like that's way too much effort to like try to recompile the code, like pull up
Yeah.
the engine, try to no, that's a little bit too much for
Yeah.
a 7-year-old game that like probably wasn't selling anyway. Anyway, did you guys like Parappa the Rapper?
dude,
And-
I never
Rappa
had
the
a
Rappa.
PS1, but I played it before.
And what about have you guys heard of
Talk
Gitaru
about
Man?
WarioWare.
Yeah,
Have
Huh?
you guys Gitaru Man?
Guitar Man. It was like the original rock, the
Guitar
original
Man.
Guitar Hero.
Basically, it was like Osu Guitar Hero-ish
株式会社
thing.
七音社代表の長谷川さんです
And now they're coming out with Project Rap Rabbit.
90年代
What
is-
the
株
heck?
式会社 ECJ の宮野
They're
圭
two
一です
together, working
えー
together.
今まで
Yeah,
たくさん
they
お
brought
話
it
しま
back.
したけど最初
In a
ギター
Kickstarter
っていう
video,
プレイステー
the
ション2
Parappa
ですね
the Rapper
まあ
guy
僕もなんだかんだ
inspired the Guitar
タラッパ
Man
が最初
to
の
create
インスピレーショ
Guitar
ン
Man.
で
So it's
ゲーム業界に
like you
入りました
know
から
the idol
譲り
work
合えないところを何か
like
こう取り
one
入れ
idol
られる
working with
ことが
another
あるんじゃ
idol
ない
sort
か
of
という
thing.
ことで
Yeah.
And
我々
it
の
basically
新しい音楽ゲーム
it's straight up a rap game. Like
今回のゲームは
it's a
私たちが
rhythm
最も
game
得意とする
and you
スト
go
ーリーを
with the
ベース
rhythm
に
of
した
the
音楽ゲーム
of the rap that
とい
you're
うところが
spitting
まず
out, but it also
大
has
き
sort
な
of
ポイントに
a
なっているのではないかと思います
Mass Effect
このゲームの
style
世界観は
dialogue
日本
system,
の古い歴
so
史
you
の
can
事
on the
実
spot
史実ですね
change the lyrics of the rap and sort
That's
of
pretty legit.
No
You can
shit.
make
have
it
like
rap.
a different tone to it and have different.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
is it kind of like the old Parappa the Rapper where you can like go down different paths and you can pick the harder one
この
and
ゲーム
stuff
の
like
システム
that?
は
Like
I
you can do
mean-
the
ベ
harder
ースは
controller
音楽
combination.
のタイミングに合わせ
Keep
てボタ
watching
ンを
the
押すという
keep watching the
従来
video
の
because
ベーシッ
it
ク
would
な
have surprised
リズム
me
ゲーム
if you're like
の
if there's
基
gonna
本
be
は
like
踏襲
a
してい
rap
るんですけれど
battle
も
and you
この
know
ゲームの
knowing your
音楽ゲームの
enemy's weakness or
シ
defense
ステ
there's
ムを
like you
もっ
know
とアドバン
it
ス
would have
しよう
surprised
と
me if
い
they try
う
to
野心に
pull
基
out
づい
like
て
a
ですね
mechanic like
こ
that
のラ
where
ップのバトル
you have to change
プレ
your
イヤー
rap
側と
based on
バトル
the
する側
effectiveness of
が
the
交互に
yeah
ラップをするんだ
it's
けど
Yeah.
like
Snake.
the
Yeah,
They
mood
changed it
stuff.
on the
最
fly,
近の
dude.
RPG とかにインスパイアさせて
So-
Interesting.
エモーション
So
You can
I'm,
have
I'm
custom
excited for
lyrics.
this.
どういった
Yeah.
感情だったりとか
See, you,
どうい
you
った
see the
エモーションを
course, like the
表
little
現したいか
corner
とい
you
う
have
ことを
like,
ユーザー
and
に考え
then
ていただきながら
obviously you see on foes, it
まあ
has a little
バトル
button
という
else
形
that you can,
まあこうい
I
った
guess, a
そ
tree
の
that you
リ
can
リック
go
や言葉みたいなものを
Um,
まあリアルタイム
and
に
it,
近い
it said
形で
like,
コ
you
ン
know,
トロールして
Parappa the
いく
Rapper
ゲームっ
was
ていうの
more
は
of
まあ
a,
おそ
they
らく
said
多
it
分
on
なかった
the
と思います
on this Kickstarter video. It was more of a rhythm game than a rap game, and that was one criticism. So they think now they got down
まあ
what would be
パラッパを作った時に
considered
も
a
ちょ
rap
っと
game.
こう言われていることなんですけれども
Like,
まあ
it's
ラップを題
I'm
材にした
excited.
ゲームだけれど
I'm
も
super
I wanna hear
excited.
more.
リズムゲ
I
ームだ
love
っ
rhythm
ていうふうに
games.
言われるので
Yeah.
I'm always
So
worried
this-
about Kickstarters.
これは
So.
ラップゲームではないよねっていう
Exactly.
ご
It's
批判というかですね
how was
そういったところ
Mighty
です
Number
ね
9?
でまあ確かにその通りなんですけれ
Let's
ども
not talk about
まあ
that.
今回の
Actually,
この
back
プロジェクト
I
の
was one of the
ゲームのシステム
suckers.
っていう
Oh
の
my
は
god.
ラップのゲームだと
It's okay. Buy a paper
新しいチャレン
video.
ジをしてくださいっていう要望は
I don't even
今まで
like.
にも
Yeah,
たくさん
I
いた
see
だ
that,
い
and
てきた
it's
んです
just one of those
お
things
なかなか
that's
それを
like.
実現する方法
Are
やチ
they
ャンスが
expecting like?
今までありま
Are
せん
they expecting
だけど
like, for example,
今回はこの
Sony to like
Kickstarter のプロジェクト
That's
put in some money
ambitious.
to like because
Yeah.
Kicks like that's the price that a game development, like that's not too far from the price of a indie game dev, like an indie game, like just the entire development of an indie game.
Yeah, do these guys
it's
not
what-
work for a publisher or something anymore?
I mean, it's coming out on PS4 and Steam, and they've worked with publishers before. Like,
yeah.
I don't see, like, the price doesn't strike me as a marketing campaign, but it also doesn't strike me as them having a publisher, which kind of confuses me.
Hmm. You know-
I'm thinking someone's gonna put in to reach that, like a big company.
Look at this. One of our major drawing points in our early days of development has been epic rap battles
Nice.
history.
No shit. dude. I've never seen Abraham Lincoln spit so much fire.
Shit, so that was that thing.
I am liking the art for this game, though. So
They
far.
are.
Yeah.
I think
It
the
reminds
setting is
me-
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like
I just hope they do a
Katamari
pre-release.
Damacy meets Afro Samurai.
Yeah, dude. That is something that we need. Truly.
And the people that have made this, it's like I trust these developers. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
people
guessing.
trusted Mighty Number 9 devs too.
I mean, you told me how far into the game did you get?
I didn't install it.
Oh.
Oh,
Videos, it was
nice.
enough.
Yes, yeah.
Damn.
So
You
it's
know-
a Kickstarter. Be wary, but it should be a game that's on the list.
You know, Hollow Knight's a Kickstarter. Hey.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty true.
FTL is a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like,
Master of the
FTL.
Light. Yeah.
All right,
freaking
are you
love
ready?
that game.
Are you ready for this this big one? This next topic's a
I'm
pretty
ready.
big
I have-
one.
I'm ready.
I have my own notes for this.
Oh.
I have my own notes for
My
this.
Bungie
So-
Destiny 2.
I think we should first address the biggest, like, the biggest, but there's one less thing that I've seen in a while. The fact that Blizzard is gonna have this on Battle.net.
That is
Wait, that's on BNet?
mind blowing. Here, let me pull that up. I have
Destiny
that up.
2 is going on BNet?
Destiny 2 is going
Yes.
on BNet, and for
What the
those of
hell?
y'all that don't understand,
Do we get
or
Destiny 2
confused
loot
about
boxes
this,
from Overwatch?
that's what we're wondering. Like, so the reason why it's going to be on BattleNet at all is because Bungie and Blizzard are both owned by Activision.
No
like-
shit.
Bungie has
That's
a
the main
10-year
reason. Yeah.
Oh,
they have a
shit,
10-year
okay.
deal with Activision that yeah.
Which
See.
basically for
I
Activision it makes sense because you keep the money in the house.
Mhm.
You keep the money in the house. Nothing, like sure. Destiny not gonna have its own well, it's gonna have its own servers according to Blizzard, but like
It wasn't.
it's more the
so
platform.
That's another thing I wanted
Wasn't
to
Destiny-
address. Destiny 2 will not have dedicated servers.
They're not
So
gonna
you host
have
it on your own,
Yeah, it's gonna
like
you're gonna have
an
a
old Brood
host.
War server.
It's-
they're
No
gonna.
kidding? It's gonna lag to shit. Like, what are they
No,
doing?
I'm pretty sure
What
they
I'm
have.
worried about is hackers.
No, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have. I'm pretty sure they were gonna have servers and that
They
Blizzard said.
They announced that.
I think
Damn.
that might be
How
for
does it-
some of the features, but not
It's a huge
necessarily.
depart. And wasn't Destiny 1 an Xbox exclusive?
Destiny, no, it was
on the
a
PS4
PS.
also.
It was PS4,
Yeah.
so it was,
was-
just console though.
It came out on 360 and PS3 when it originally came out, and then it moved out to PS4.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's right. It
And
came
I
out that
forgot.
long ago. Oh, the funny
So
thing
it was
about
never for the PC.
no, it was not out. So that's why this is a really big deal.
That's crazy. That's a whole different thing.
And before we continue the Destiny 2 conversation, I want
Yeah.
to make fun
Let's
of
skip-
Blizzard on
yeah,
this
yeah.
one. Just real quick, because
We swear.
recently,
This is the only time.
recently Blizzard renamed the BattleNet launcher and rebranded it to Blizzard Launcher. I'm sure everybody's seen that. The icon has
yeah.
changed, and it does not say BattleNet. mostly anywhere. But they're really bad about this update because it's really spotty. And as part of the Destiny 2 presentation, they said that it's going to be available on Battle.net. They called it Battle.net. And it was so... I just thought that was hilarious because they've been saying... Everybody at Blizzard's been like, call it the Blizzard app. The Blizzard app. It's not Battle.net anymore. It's the Blizzard app. Which is awkward for a lot of us because we grew up with Battle.net. StarCraft, Warcraft 2,
Exactly.
Warcraft 3, Diablo 2, Diablo 3.
It's one of those things that's like Blizzard, you seek this out for yourself.
Yeah,
like,
it's like you have this
did it.
brand, and there was no reason. Like, it's fine that they changed it. It doesn't affect anything at all. But why?
I don't know. It makes me think that they're not communicating. They might not be happy about having Destiny 2
No,
on
I think
their IP shit.
they're gonna get rich off of it because
Yeah, I
it's
think-
already affecting the WoW economy.
Is it?
Why is it affecting the WoW economy?
WoW, everything
you can
affects that.
sell, You can sell in-game
Donald
gold.
Trump is affecting.
You can sell in-game gold for
You can
a
buy-
game
yeah,
time
you-
token, which you can then trade for Blizzard store credit.
Oh,
And you can
Buy-
buy Destiny 2 with
jeez.
WoW Gold.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, jeez.
And I mean, think about who else is on the Battle.net launcher. Like, it's Overwatch players, it's Hearthstone players
There's
that
a
want to,
ton
like,
of
you know,
Hearthstone
have like a.
Overwatch. That's a huge market.
It's completionists.
And-
That's one game that they don't have,
And Destiny has WoW-like features. They have dungeons, they have raids, they have, like, you know, a
Mhm.
truly.
player that is. WoW players already enjoy that. Like, it'll be an easy transition. They'll just be figuring out the controls and everything. That's it. So I think that's gonna, like, this is huge angry for Destiny 2. I think it'll succeed just because of this.
Yeah, I mean,
mean-
they have a market already. Like, they don't need to break into anything. They don't have to worry about it's like, will people use Steam? And, you know, it's like, will people
So this is
download
my
That makes
this
it
is my
pretty handy.
thesis.
Yeah.
This is my thesis on Destiny 2. Everything is set up for it to be a huge success.
Everything is
like,
set up, yeah.
not even for the fact that, like, you know, it's on Battle.net and everything, but like, think about what Destiny 1 is. It was basically big Halo, like just
Yeah, it was
Bungie
Halo
being
meets
like
Overwatch. Or not
yes.
Overwatch. Halo meets Borderlands.
exactly. It was
Yeah.
Halo meets Borderlands, and it was because when Halo originally came out, nothing like this could have come out. There was not as many online features. The maps couldn't be big enough. So Bungie, when you see it, and I wish I had the timeline of the people that work at Bungie and see who was still left there. Bungie's a company that's been practicing, it seems, almost for this. Look at The Division, it just flopped. It was awful. They didn't realize for some reason that client-side calculations were atrocious on an online setting. They didn't realize that for some reasons bullet sponge on this
Like
sort
a
of
military
games.
style game. Yeah.
It was like awful. Like, they realized for some reason that, like, loot had to be like you had to go to like a cache. Loot is not something that, like, gets dropped by. Like, there were many things that Ubisoft did wrong, and it's because Ubisoft. When has Ubisoft tried to do something like this before? So, Destiny 2, first thing they say, it's gonna come on PC. Right. It's, for me, this, like, Halo, it was Demon Souls. Destiny 2, now it's gonna be Dark Souls 3. Like, it's gonna be the game that's like,
It'd be huge.
exactly, it's gonna be Destiny 1. When it came out, I played the beta and I played when it came out. It was atrocious. Like, it was awful. It took
yeah.
this long. It
Yeah, I
took
mean,
a
like, when I
console to
picked, when I got it, right, it was a lot better than when you played it, I'm sure.
Yes, way better. When I got it, the PvP was only, like, I think versus Team Deathmatch or something. Like,
It felt like Halo.
there, when you look at the reviews, they said the story was a very, like, lame because you had to wait for the DLC to continue the story. Like, this now should be, everything should be fleshed out.
Yep.
The developers have figured everything out. Destiny is a game that's been out for, like, I think 4, 5 years, 4
Around that
years
long.
now.
Maybe like 4
I think
years.
4 years, yeah.
What I think would be funny is if
Um,
Destiny 2 killed Overwatch.
Overwatch killer, and it kills WoW
I mean,
at the same
we'll
time.
have to see. We'll have to see the PvP because there's new PvP.
Yeah.
To begin
I
with-
think it'll only get better because like there was nothing too special about it in the last one, but it was like it's fine. Like it's Halo kind of COD style shooting. It's like it's what a lot of
With
us are used to.
Borderland mechanics,
Yeah.
with Borderland ideas. So not only that,
Planet side in there too.
yeah. Well, not as
I would
not,
say like
not as much.
A little bit
lore-wise,
of planet side in there.
like design-wise, it'd be like Planet Side, but not the scale.
Nah. So all the PvP game modes are 4v4, and they're complicating it. It kind of is like Quake style, but not really, because on Quake style you can tell when just by the location when someone has picked up something. This one will tell you on the hub if someone has picked up, if someone is close to their super. Not necessarily what level they're at, but if they're close to their super, if they picked up ammo recently, like it. I don't understand that, but I'm guessing that they didn't do that just wildly, and they wouldn't mention it if they didn't think it was decent. There's a new mode which is they call it, they didn't show it, but it's countdown, and it's an attack defend mode, which I'm guessing is, you know, one point you need to attack a point and then defend it, etc., etc. The strikes, they're introducing, you can co-op with friends, matchmaking. Now there's clans officially supported in game, which before you had to set up like your own forum, your own.
Some ghetto
now-
clans.
Exactly. Now you can officially support it. The game now is truly open world. It's Mass Effect-ish style. It's not Mass Effect Andromeda release. It's more like you can park your you can land your vehicle in any part of the planet, technically, as they mentioned it. I don't know what they mean by that exactly. But for example, before on the original Destiny, if you wanted to change planet, you had to go to orbit and then pick the planet you wanted to go to. Like, yeah. Now it's just seamless. You
Yeah,
go, I want to go
it's
there.
good. Yeah.
There's new maps, there's dungeons, which they're calling lost sectors. They sort of have a Skyrim feel of open worldness to it, where you can explore, find lost sectors, which are dungeons with loot and stuff. 4 new maps, 4 new worlds. One, I don't know why they mention it as one of the 4 new worlds, but I guess it's a new area you go to, which is the European Dead Zone, because in Destiny lore, there's only one remaining city on Earth, and in Destiny 2, it's been taken over.
The
Which
wall
is the
wasn't
story
enough.
trope.
See? Take notes, Trump. The wall doesn't work.
We can build it bigger.
Mexicans just build giant alien ships.
Large ships.
Oh, yeah, I moved it. Yeah, just put it back in the kitchen.
So
Good.
European Dead Zone is a new area, and I guess they're gonna address, you know, what happened in Europe. Why is it dead? Another new world they're calling it, even though it's not a planet. It's Titan. The moon
Fallout.
of
The fallout of Brexit.
it basically. Yeah.
You want to move on to this Dota 2?
Well, I wanted to say that they're also including looking for group inside of Destiny.
Just pretty
They're
big.
looking.
Yeah, it's like about time. Oh, that's the one
that's
that I
pretty
wanted
big.
to talk about.
Group
a bit.
Finder,
They're
yeah.
Not. It's like they're making raiding more accessible. So
Yeah.
they're adding LFR to it, which for
So it's
people that
kinda-
don't play WoW, it is like the baby mode of raids that anybody can do.
Yeah.
So it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for casual players because you can just hop on and then do a raid and just queue for it. You don't have to put
And-
together a group. You don't have to log on at a
Yeah.
specific time.
And it's great for the clans that like are always looking for one person or whatever. Like, you know, if you're missing one person, we'll find it. So I think that's great, and I think the fact that, like, you know, they're straight up introducing that as a feature. It's great. I think the Destiny community can now thrive. The fact that they have a what's it called? A built-in community system.
Because before it was very gatekeepy. Because it's like if you don't have friends, you know, if you don't have a clan that can do these raids with you, or if you don't have
And you
people
would
that
have
will
to-
carry you, you're gonna have to
Yeah, you
struggle
would-
and find a group. and
Yeah.
shit. The
You
only
have to
thing,
like look it up yourself and everything.
I just hope that they implement it better than Blizzard does, because what Blizzard did wrong is like the concept, the exact same concept was there, except what they added is that they had the chance for you to get gear that was better than the regular raid, which angered raiders, you know, because
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
if it's
They-
you shouldn't be
Yeah.
forced to do this level if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, and I don't see them doing that. Like I don't, because they didn't mention this is gonna be special raids. They just mentioned it's gonna be for dungeons, right? Like you know, if a clan is looking for someone, they can put up this, and the clan, they're gonna get clan rewards, shared by everyone. So even if you're a high level raider, or if you're just casual clan member, you are gonna get rewarded by how well your clan is doing. Obviously, I'm guessing they mean the people that don't do as much might get like one or two things. The people that do more are gonna get more. But it also is starting to show that like, yeah, casuals can come in to play this game, join up a clan, find out a clan to join through the looking for group. Like, let's build this community. Let's get it together, guys. Let's see how the internet fucks it up. I'm down to see that.
Dude, it seems like a really exciting game.
It is.
Is there a beta?
Yeah.
There will be an
Or-
open beta
There
this
will
summer.
be
Yes.
an
An
open
open
beta. Where's
beta?
It's somewhere in this article. Oh my god, where is it?
An
Yes.
open beta. I'm
Right
definitely
here.
gonna try it.
Players who pre-order.
I'm gonna
will
try
have
it.
the open
First
beta.
time is always free.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. No, there
Oh,
will be completely open. Whoever pre-orders
And,
is gonna get in a little bit early. Yeah.
is it gonna be for consoles as well, or just the
Yes.
PC?
Consoles
too?
as well.
Mhm.
Okay, that's very
And
good.
one
Very
thing
good.
that they did say is that consoles will not have, like, it will not transfer over. They'll play on different servers.
Yeah, exactly. Not even
That's
your
very
character.
good.
So it's that's one thing that's I would be worried
Segregate
for
'em.
the console version, honestly, now, because the PC version community will
I know.
be bigger than the PlayStation 4 or Xbox communities.
I know many influencers that love, like, just if Destiny 1 was a woman, they like leave their wives for that.
My roommate
And
is like that.
And they were excited for Destiny 2 because they're like, oh great, it's gonna be in PC. I'm gonna be able to play with my PC friends. But
No.
now,
Sucks to
I
suck.
mean, they can still get it on PC. The thing is that your character is not gonna transfer over.
Yeah.
Which, although you won't get all the loot that the character had and everything for balancing reasons and whatnot, it's still the character that you care about. So it's gonna be one of those things that's like, are you gonna
Yeah.
just
Yeah, because
stick with it? Are you gonna, yeah.
one thing that
Battle
they said
lines
that was
deepen.
going to happen is that your character, like, the look of your character would transfer over to Destiny 2. Is that what it was? There's something that's
The
going to
look.
transfer. The
Yeah,
appearance?
the look.
It's the appearance? Okay.
Yeah,
That's
and I mean,
alright.
the thing is that the look itself without the loot that you put up top,
Yeah.
which is kind of like,
It's like you never see what your character really looks like.
I know whatsoever. The game is about looting and getting cool look, and getting the entire set. But I'm excited for it. I will most definitely get it. I enjoyed the little bit I played of Destiny 1, and the only reason I didn't play more of it is because I'm like, I don't have a clan. I know
Yeah,
some
it's
clans
like
that I
now
can
that it's on
join,
the
but
PC, it's like no problem. It's like, can we play
Yeah.
with 100 ping? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
exactly, or just like find my own clan, and the fact that I can get rewarded even if I don't show up every single week or every single day to play raid. Anyway, so Destiny 2, buy it like now, pre-order, because pre-ordering is great, guys.
Buy
Yeah,
it, try
pre-ordering
it.
is great. Okay,
You-
Hitler.
You get to you give to give revenue to a company before the game is even out.
What could go wrong?
Alright, Dota.
Alright, so this next topic is a very interesting one that's come up this week. So, the background is there is a lawsuit that's happening between both Blizzard and Valve against mobile developers because they are trying to infringe on the Dota IP. Everybody knows what Dota is by this point, if you're a gamer.
Even if you're not, like,
even
you
if
know
you're
about
not a gamer.
international
But
or...
what
You
some
can't
people don't
escape it.
know is where Dota came from. Dota was originally a Warcraft 3. People like to say mod. Back then it was
Custom
just
game.
it was a custom
Damn it.
game. It was just a map. There was nothing special. Like all the mods was contained within the map. But anyways, there were 3 major players in the development of the original version of Dota, and that was Ginsu, Yule, and IceFrog. So before IceFrog even came in the picture, a lot of it was done originally by Yule and then Ginsu, and then IceFrog joined later. But pretty much those were the 3 that did all of the major developments on Dota 1 when it was back in Warcraft 3. And back then, even in Blizzard's EULA, Blizzard like pretty much wrote that they don't own anything in Dota because Blizzard doesn't own anything that was inside the maps. Like any of the custom games that people made, Blizzard didn't have any like realm over. The only thing they owned is that the characters the heroes used, which is why in League of Legends and Dota 2 you see a lot of heroes that look very, very similar to Warcraft heroes, but they're not.
Mhm.
They're just a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening here is that Blizzard and Valve are pretty much going after this mobile developer, Ucool, for this game that he made called Heroes Charge. And pretty much what the Ucool is saying is that because he's trying to say that no one had the rights to Dota because back then when you created a mod, it's like you didn't have a legal team or anything. Like there were no copyrights on the mod that you created for whatever game you were making it for. So right now, but the thing is, that was 15 years ago. So now it's just like, all right, Dota 2 exists, League of Legends exists, and since then, both IceFrog and Yule have moved over to Valve and are working on Dota 2, and Ginsu has joined Riot and was working with League of Legends. So it's like, this team split up now, and like a lot of people are like, Valve is the one that owns Dota 2 because they have 2 out of the 3 major players. But it's like, was Dota at that time, is that relevant? Does it matter who made the mod?
With
I mean,
protecting the property.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that's like... It's a thing that like was created without a contract, so it's... And obviously like they weren't expecting... I imagine ever to like get this big that they needed to worry about it, but it's one of those things that's like, if there had been any paperwork, it would be like way clear cut. Now it's a lot of like, who you guys 3, but these guys have Dota. Valve has Dota 2, but like it's one of those things that's like, but it was on Warcraft 3, so like,
Yeah.
There's no copyright.
So the thing is,
then-
what's happening now is there's this lawsuit that's happening because of this mobile game you can see a screenshot of, and
Yeah.
since if you don't know, this character, all of these characters on the left look
And that's
very
Ucool's?
similarly. Yeah, this is Ucool's mobile game, and these guys look very much like Dota heroes, and it's even called Dota Legends, right?
Dota Legends, yeah.
Like, that's why this is coming up. It's like, did
Yeah.
anybody own that? Are people allowed to use that? But I'm
Well,
pretty sure
that-
Valve is going to win this argument because these look
Yeah.
like Dota 2 characters. They don't look like
Yeah.
Dota 1 characters.
and I'm pretty sure Dota itself is trademarked by Valve. Like by itself, the word Dota to be used in video game is trademarked by Valve. Much like Prey is trademarked by Bethesda. Scroll is trademarked by the Bethesda. Like
Scroll
it's
from Elder Scrolls.
yeah, no, and there was a card game, like a digital card game. I forget what it was called. I think it was Scrolls something, and Bethesda went
Oh,
behind
no
it.
kidding.
Even though it was a digital card game, it does not mess with any of Bethesda's, but it's still a video game. So Bethesda was like, gotta name it something else. Sorry, bro. So
And they won too.
So I'm pretty sure like Valve has CDC. I think it's still interesting to see, like, you know, who would you call who would you call the owners of the original Dota? Like,
Right.
if you wanted to re-release Dota 1, who do you go to first?
I guess they're the sentimental and the true progenitors, but I guess what matters is who owns it now.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
it was
it's-
sold to, who
Yeah.
Yep.
who has
bought
all
it.
the rights. Yeah, exactly.
And it's
So-
Valve, but, like, they're gonna win. They need to rename that shit, call it Doto Legends,
Doto.
and just be done with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but that's not the problem.
Defense of the
because-
old ones.
Well, it's not the name because you got all these models that look exactly like heroes.
Just
Yeah.
do a palette swap. They'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just a bit like, you know, or like put the head of one on the body of another, like just
Yeah.
mix and match, just whatever, be fine.
Make it wacky. But
mean,
that's
Wouldn't surprise me if he did this, knowing what would happen to make it as a
Yeah, I
marketing
mean, it was
campaign.
released in China.
yeah.
So
Yeah, like it's
you probably
Whoa.
don't give a fuck right now, but now they have to give a fuck.
yeah, definitely. It's a big money thing. So, do we want to do new releases or jump into WannaCry and then go back to new releases?
Cool idea for mobile games though. A MOBA mobile.
We'll do new releases. We can skip Injustice 2. We already talked about that.
The Surge. It's
The
Dark Souls
Surge
2. This Dark Souls with
become a robot.
yeah. Have anybody seen the beginning of it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually like kinda
Kind of spooky.
yeah. I like it. I think it will be a good game to pick up. It's just it just went under the radar and it popped up and everybody is just like, yeah, this is great, but I wasn't looking up for it. I didn't know. I heard of it, but I didn't know it was gonna be this.
So the
So-
Surge, it's kind of a hack and slash RPG, and one cool thing that you can do is you can target specific body parts, and then steal them basically by just cutting them off of somebody, and that's how you get armor. You're like I really want that guy's hammer, and so you fucking cut his arm off and you take his
Yeah,
hammer.
yeah.
And that's one of the really cool things I like about it. And it's got implants, kind of similar to Nier, and implants are your special abilities. Things like your HUD, seeing health bars, healing even is an implant, so it's totally optional. Like, you know, if you want Iron Man mode that shit. But it seemed kind of spooky. From what I saw the first couple levels of it, and I don't know if I'd pay full price for it though. Maybe wait till it
That's-
goes on sale.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's I mean, it has good reviews. I think it's worth it. And then when it's on sale, I'll probably pick it up. But it's one of those things
Yeah.
that's like, am I ever going to play it?
Yeah, I mean, with all these huge titles out, Surge reminds me a lot of Dark Souls in its mechanic, and especially the difficulty of it.
Mhm.
Like, there's these little hovering bee drones, and like they shoot freaking laser beams that deal a quarter of your HP, a third
Yeah,
of your HP.
Yeah,
This is
and
the
they-
second
and you
enemy
got
that you
this-
fight.
You got the same bonfire mechanic. You got the same sort
Yeah.
of soul mechanic of if
Yeah.
you die and you haven't recovered your souls, everything's lost. But you still have the little ones that go into your bag or whatever.
And you can consume them and,
Yeah.
and gain them. Yeah, but at least in this one, you can bank them, so they're like
Oh, you
kind
can
of
save
safe.
'em?
You
Lame.
can save them, yeah. So
Are the damage
Yeah.
values similar to Dark Souls? Like, do you get
It
one
is
shot in
similar.
this game?
yes,
Yeah.
you do. I saw what somebody compared to the Dark Knight in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It's like a giant crane, like it's just like a big old crane, and it's like you just like you see him running up to it, and the crane up just goes like boom, and crushes him and kills him
Oh, so
like,
it's one of the, it's
immediately.
like, oh, you're walking on this nice little bridge. Nope. You're
No,
dead.
exactly. Or
Hope he's having
or one
fun.
of those like I'm overconfident. I die, of course. And now I didn't get back to my souls, and okay,
Yeah.
and just spend the last
Oh, and it's a time limit to get your souls too.
There's
So
a
Oh,
time limit? Oh, is that
interesting.
what that is on
Time
the
limit.
right?
yeah, it is.
Oh my god, that's so
Yeah.
stressful.
It is. You can extend it by killing, so by
Oh,
murdering,
okay.
you get more time.
That's
This
like-
does look interesting. I'll have to wait for a sale though.
There's so
And-
much out there.
there's different classes. There's many like crafting abilities and craft system. Like it looks legitimately like someone grabbed Dark Souls and said we can expand on this, and they did.
Yeah. know.
Space.
And
Oh, I
it's
just cut that guy in half.
it's robot. The story is one
Take
of
his armor.
those. The story is you wake up like you wake up, you don't know anything about this world, and you're trying to figure it out. So it's a good
Yeah.
way to sort of introduce people into a new story and everything. You're as blind as your main character is.
It's it starts out as a job application. Like
Yeah.
you're like getting a
Job
job for this
application.
corporation. It's a job application,
Oh
yeah.
my
And you go in and you're like, okay, you choose your class, kind of like System Shock.
So
you
it
like
starts
go
like
through the right
Fallout.
door. Yeah,
Sure.
kind of sorta. No like stat allocation or anything like that. And you choose your profession, and oh yeah, you're unconscious. They implant all this shit on you, and like, okay, they throw you in the junkyard. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. You get basically high-tech piercings, and then they're like,
Good luck.
all right, go do your job.
They throw you in a fucking junkyard.
That's great.
And then robots start punching you, and then eventually they
Man.
call you.
I gotta stop
they
these
call it-
robots from punching me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
It's scrap or be scrapped.
all right. I want to talk about this next one.
All right.
I don't think you guys have heard of
I
it.
know nothing about.
What you
this.
got?
Star
Star
Trek.
No
Bridge
kidding.
Crew.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I heard about this.
It's a VR game. It's literally like, and you guys have seen the rig. I forget what it's called, but it's the very
Oh,
expensive for that game. This simulation that you're on the Enterprise and whatever, and you go like engineer, lower everything in
You can
VR.
choose which enterprise.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can choose which Enterprise, but you guys have seen the rig that like some crazy people got to play it. Yeah, exactly.
People make, like,
Now
little
you have this
plans
on
and
VR. I
stations.
think this is like this is the sort of games that are gonna play excellent in VR. I think a lot of people are looking into like VR for like immersive experience and everything. I think VR is gonna be more of a social experience that we expect because of these
Yeah.
exact games. Because
That
you're
makes
gonna be
sense.
sitting there.
And this
You're
one
gonna be able
puts
to
you in
play.
there.
Yeah.
So you can be the captain, you can be the comms officer, you can be
Mm.
the tactical officer, or the guy on
Yeah.
shields. Like you can get fucking taken out by an explosion, and the medical officer can come and get you.
That's pretty.
It's
funny.
all VR. Yeah, dude. Like you can get in space battles, explore planets.
I wonder if you could be an
Well,
ensign.
So cool.
Well, right now.
You just
Right
bring 'em
now
coffee.
they kept it simple, like four crew members go up like
Oh, it's
it's-
co-op.
it's co-op, yeah.
Of course, it's co-op.
Oh, it's
What?
only co-op.
It's
So you have to
solely co-op.
communicate.
That's
And
pretty
it-
funny.
It's coming out in I think it came out on PS4 first this week, and now it's gonna be
It's
out
actually come out.
on Steam.
Oh crap! It's actually come out.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
thought
Yeah.
it was
coming
still
out
in
on Steam,
development.
what, next
Oh
week?
crap!
No,
A
it's
week and a
coming
half?
out right now. I mean,
Well, it says
it would've
May 30.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if like maybe down the road it'll get like a big update with like allowing more players and everything. But
Okay, maybe you
This is-
can't do all those things. Like, I don't think you can be a medical officer.
nah, nah. But maybe in the like it's exciting to start seeing the games that I've imagined will be in VR because right now you get in VR like classic like silly scary game of
Yeah.
jump scares
Yeah.
or play ping pong, yay! Like,
Or
Or
accounting.
like a shooting gallery.
yeah, jump simulator, like, and all of those are like cool, but they only last so
Super-
long. I
yeah,
think this,
they live off of the gimmicks.
yeah, exactly, off of the fact that like the people that bought VR want to buy these games because they're bought a fucking
Need
$600
something.
headset. Like,
Yeah.
I better fucking use it. So that's out. None of us have a VR headset to play
Yep,
it, so
nope,
we
none of us can
wish.
play it.
And
Yeah.
like, it's kind of exclusive too, because it's co-op only. So you need 3 other people who also have bought the VR.
Do we add this into the
So-
game
It's like,
club?
all right, do we
Right.
have like $5,000 to spend in between all of us? Jesus Christ.
Right.
Because then you have to have a computer that can use it.
Yeah, exactly. For
Yeah.
each.
You can
For
run this
each-
VR software.
So, you guys want to put it in the game club? Like, suggest their recommendations.
Oh, absolutely. I want
Yeah.
to. We should just
Better not
replace.
fucking vote for
Forget
it.
Hollow Knight. Let's do this.
Alright. Alright.
All right.
I'll call my mom, tell her to buy an HTC Vive while she's not there.
Right. We're gonna take out some loans really quickly.
I just
Alright.
changed the topic. All right, next topic.
Has it been
Uh-oh.
wow the
It
whole
looks
time?
like your files have been encrypted. Uh-oh.
GG. You shouldn't have downloaded that scat
You
porn.
Yeah, you shouldn't have Google WannaCry and then download it, and then it's run it.
Wanna
Yeah.
exe.
I mean, it's it was
Right.
You heard of this,
Yeah, like-
right, Jordan?
I have heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
Dealing with it at work. It's
Oh,
not really video game
no.
related, but tech related. It's a very aggressive ransomware. What makes it so special? This kind of thing is really common anyways, but what makes this special is that it can actively hunt you throughout a network. It can fucking find you and install itself on your computer.
easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
It was through a vulnerability that
Yeah.
Windows wasn't informed of, and
Yeah.
the FBI knew about.
They knew.
And the NSA has technically been using it for like months or years now. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but obviously they're not gonna say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
rather, yeah, it's one of those things that's like rather than then going to Microsoft and saying, "Hey, bro, you should probably fix this," they're like, "You know what? Let's just sit on it and use it ourselves." And then they get hacked because not even the NSA can be fucking perfect at the fucking job. And then
fucking
it's
NSA
this
gets that.
happened.
Yep. Hospitals
it-
were going down.
Update your Windows.
Game servers were going down. Patch your
It a-
Windows version 1703.
It
you're fine.
affected the national okay. The
FedEx went
titles the national health service on the UK was affected. Apparently, obviously, UK newspapers are very sensationalist and they'll like write a title saying NHS taken down by one of the crypt, or what they mean is they had to shut down servers to avoid them from getting infected. Like, you know, they were like, it's in the network, we gotta start shutting down some servers to avoid this from happening until we know everything's been
Yeah.
patched out and fixed. So it's not like, you know, that the UK lost its healthcare system over the weekend, but rather that it's worrisome when freaking a country can like know of this and use it and then not protect it enough to
Right.
to avoid from this.
Kind of makes you wish they were more proactive about it.
I mean, the thing
but-
is, it's like you can't really blame Microsoft too much about this. Like, even though it was on their thing, because they didn't know about it.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Fucking
And
NSA should have done something.
Yeah, they should have told Microsoft. Like that's.
They knew.
Oh my god.
or they should freaking have they should be under 7 locks of security. How did they get out?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the best
This is not
part,
a thing that.
the best
Yeah.
part is the exploit that the NSA made was stolen by hackers and then released to the public for free. Like, what
free.
the fuck? And then Microsoft was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, you did
Yeah,
what?
it's And
They're like,
then
"This is a thing," and then they're probably like, "What the fuck, NSA? Like, why didn't you tell us?"
We got you at our back, dude.
this is one of the reasons the whole Apple debacle of liberate the
Yeah.
password of this
Oh,
person so we know whether this person's
yeah.
guilty or not. It's yes, Apple can do that, and they
That
if,
is
if they
slippery
devoted the
slope.
money that will happen, but what are what's the implications behind them doing that? What's the
Exactly.
implication of setting the record of that
It's
being
like
a
now
possibility?
that can
Yeah.
happen. It's like it exists. It's like you
Yeah.
can't just delete it
Yeah.
permanently. Like you
Yeah,
can try.
and
but if you have one copy out there that you lose, you're fucked.
And this explains why I've gotten to my work email. I've gotten some shady emails more so in the past 3 months than in the
Yeah.
past year that I've been working at this
Mhm.
at this company. Just random LinkedIn reset you reset your password on LinkedIn. I don't even have LinkedIn on this email, so no.
Yeah, it's like you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this new marketing campaign of it. Yeah. Luckily, I work off my laptop. I keep my laptop updated, so even if I'm on the network, it's not gonna come to me. And I'm hoping it hasn't happened anything at work, so I don't believe we've been affected by this. And obviously now it's in the
Yeah.
news, so
If you've
everybody
been
should.
patched, it's fine now.
You have been patched.
Oh, and
Yeah.
also there was a
Like,
kill switch.
it's happened.
Did y'all read about the kill switch?
Yeah.
So there was a part of the hack or part of the program contains a URL that it pings.
Mhm.
If it cannot ping the URL, then it propagates. But if it does ping the URL, then the whole thing stops. So
Mm,
what the security researchers discovered is that the only thing they need to do to stop this entire spread of this crazy virus is that you just need to register the URL. And they did that. They registered the URL, and because it can now ping it, it's like, oh, I need to stop. Why
yeah,
they
it's-
did it?
no problem
That's
here.
that's just a dumb. That's just bad programming.
that just means that they got it from the NSA as it was, and
Yeah, I think
It's
they were
like-
worried about infecting themselves. That's why.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then the hackers got it from the NSA as it was, and they figure out what it did, and then they just didn't bother about looking at the code. They just put it out there, put a Bitcoin and a UI, and make
Yep.
it. Yeah,
Or maybe
It's-
maybe they didn't want world domination. They just
I mean,
wanted everybody
Nah,
to
they're
know.
probably
They
what this tactic is used to protect yourself when you're a hacker, especially if you're dealing with a hack that you don't know how it works. So then you add on a kill switch that is always activated on your network, if that makes sense. Especially if it spreads, because
Like, you can
if they
stop it, yeah.
accidentally infected themselves with this, your computer
would be
is
so good.
fucked. That would be so funny.
they're like, fuck.
They'll have to pay the
because
rest
the
to
thing is,
themselves.
if they can, no, the thing is, if they infect themselves, then everybody
Everything is
else's
encrypted.
ransom is worthless because they can't decrypt anyone else's stuff because
Mm-hmm.
their keys are encrypted.
Yeah.
Apparently, they only made $96,000, which is
I mean, considering
Very
how many
little
people,
compared-
yeah,
very little compared to how many people they were infected, and it was talked in the one show whether it's people are in social media and everything is on on the cloud nowadays, so you're like, oh fine, I'll just take it to Git Squad and have them reformat my computer or whatever. it was probably mostly companies that were like, this is mission critical.
Yeah, it's
this
like you
is
have to
something
get
now.
our shit back.
Yeah,
Except
and so
a
they just
thing I
fucking
read
pay it.
somewhere is that they didn't actually give people's data back.
I mean, of
That was
course,
just
like,
there.
it didn't?
Yeah, the Bitcoin link is just there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, at no point did they ever like that's the thing with ransomware. You don't know that like your Spain is gonna release it like at all. You
So
You-
even
rather avoid it. Yeah.
so wait, people were getting decrypted, or were they just paying it and nothing happened?
I have no idea what happened to
Well-
the people that got encrypted.
I'm not
The
sure,
way with
actually.
the
I don't
way
know.
with ransomware is usually like you have to pay by a date,
Yeah.
and then they'll check, and then they're like, okay,
They'll
It's
send you
encrypted, but-
yeah, they'll send you
Yeah.
the key.
Yeah, but I wonder
but-
if they actually did it.
Yeah, that's the big question mark.
Huh.
yeah, and then yeah.
A big thing is that Microsoft actually introduced patches for the unsupported operating systems.
Oh, yeah,
for
XP.
XP, they patched XP for this.
Or
I mean,
7,
it's-
Vista.
The
Nah,
things that were
Vista's
most
still
like
supported.
What
the
was
thing
it?
that it's
Gee, it shouldn't be.
the thing is that they gotta consider what people could be running, and either XP like still in like old school servers or old school machinery. Like
Mhm.
you gotta when it's
Yeah.
something this big and it's something like
You
yeah
can't
you-
ignore it.
Yeah, true.
and it's probably not that much of a problem for them to do.
Mhm.
So
I mean, the funny thing is those operating systems that old don't have ways to patch automatically. Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
user has to do it.
Yeah.
that's those, and I mean the thing is that most people like businesses don't want the computers to patch automatically because that usually means updates, like there's downtime on the computer because it's patching when the worker is working, or there's downtime because the new update screwed something up. So that's why it was affecting so many workplaces, because they don't have the automatic patches on. So obviously
Mhm.
had everybody had automatic patches on, this is not a problem. This was addressed before it became this big, but now it's, I mean,
Patch
it's
your
over.
shit.
It got killed.
Patch your shit.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
It got
Patch your
killed.
shit.
Thank you NSA for
Keeping us safe.
yeah, you guys did it. You guys,
Yep.
beautiful.
For finding a backdoor and then letting it into the wild.
Just and yeah, just like it's like I'm gonna put this giant important warhead over here, all right?
Don't touch it.
Nobody.
It's like just don't touch it.
Don't
Honor
touch it.
honor system. Honor system.
I can trust you
Alright.
guys, okay?
Alright, I'm gonna go make a sandwich. Don't.
It's like don't eat it.
All right, who wants it? Who wants it?
I don't know who did it, but I know somebody did.
Yeah, who let this come on? Was it you, Mike? Mexican bitch. Anyway.
Really they see the nuclear fallout. They're just like, oh, they just walk out,
Whoops.
leave.
Didn't think that would happen.
I mean,
Are you ready for your favorite segment, Jordan?
The random bullshit
The
segment.
random bullshit segment.
Yeah.
End of every show.
My favorite time. We
all
got
the
some good.
participants get one completely unrelated to everything link that they can talk about and we can discuss. Here's Jordan, you put yours above mine because
For very good
whatever,
reasons.
so I guess you go first.
Mine is the best. It is the city of darkness. Kowloon, a city in China, or it used to be a city in China until they demolished it. It started as a fort in the 1600s, and it sort of spiraled out of control due to some very strange zoning laws. You can see there, it kind of
fuck?
compacted like that. Yeah, so there was an insane amount of people living there. Like, it came out to like I think it says in the article, like 1.6 million people per square kilometer or something like that. So they were stacked 14 stories high in a couple miles of city block, and it's just grown from the 1600s to 1993. It was finally demolished. So you can just imagine this like linking webway of corridors and just people's lives. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you see a cross section that some urban explorers made. Yeah, and they actually drew it. Oh, there's a really cool one. It's a temple that's hundreds of years old, and they put grates up to
They
keep
just
trash
built around
from
it?
falling. Yeah, they just fucking built around it. So you can just imagine all these moodily lit corridors and all these lives. And
This
it was
exists?
actually,
God.
it used to exist. They demolished it in 1993, and they put in a rather tasteful Chinese garden.
Yeah,
So,
I see
I
that
don't
like
s-
it's just around now. It's like just normal city, but I mean, it's a cool idea when you want to look for like high density sort of.
Yeah.
And I mean,
the
you see a
tech on
little
it.
bit. Like it reminds me of like a thing you will see in a video game, pretty much.
Yeah, I was thinking that
seriously.
same thing. Yeah, that's something I would love to see in a
Oh
video
my
game.
god.
Except living there must have been a little bit like
Yeah.
humid,
Holy
mushy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It reminded me a lot of Warhammer. If you've ever known Warhammer 40K lore, this is the city of the future. They call them habitation hives, and they're dens of villainy and occasionally good.
Okay, should
Just insanely
that cross-section,
dense.
Yep. So couple thousand years, that's what Houston's gonna look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, more like New York.
Yeah,
Houston's gonna get to
just gonna
New
keep
York
going.
level.
Houston's just gonna consume all of Texas.
Yeah, eventually. In like 50 years, you'll get
10
to
loops.
like past Dallas. Like,
And you still won't find good public transit.
Nope.
of course not. Now it's bigger. Like it's
You'll
gonna.
have to fly.
It's
You have to fly. All right, I'm flying from Houston to Houston.
You're gonna call in Uber helicopter
Yeah.
from one side of Houston to another.
Oh.
You know.
Make sure to get your lift.
Literally. Alright, you should.
Yeah.
Your
All right, my
that's my
random
random
bullshit.
bullshit.
The Donald has gone private. So there was a
Ooh.
clash, as usual, with the Donald mods on Reddit and the Reddit admins,
Tunneled mods.
which resulted in 3 of the Donald mods being banned. And as a response, the Donald subreddit was made private by the remaining mods. Honestly, I don't know how this is possibly an act of defiance, because I think everybody's pretty okay with this.
yeah.
So,
I'm perfectly perfectly fine
They
with.
just contained themselves, and we don't have to. We did it. The wall is built. See right here.
They built it around themselves. Thank goodness.
This is what they wanted. They've achieved, and I'm happy for them. I am. I don't see how this is a problem to
So-
anybody,
Mm-hmm.
not even them. Like honestly, they're good there.
So this is Donald Trump's like subreddit, like
Yes,
his
Ish.
well, it was the one that was made for him by Putin.
made for him by Putin.
It
It's got
was,
glamour
It's
shots.
the memes that won the election.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's gonna be open tomorrow. Oh no, just keep it closed.
Yeah, just leave it like.
Wow, I like these status updates. Like someone out there is sitting on the edge of their seat about the Donald Trump
What's
subreddit.
What's going on with the Donald right now, guys?
I mean, if you wanna see keyboard warriors, just go to Reddit.
No, absolutely, especially this
Like-
section of Reddit. Dear God.
Yeah. Subreddit rabbit. But I mean, okay, Reddit, like, yeah, these are
Coincides,
these are like communities that Reddit's constantly having a problem with, because
Yeah.
Reddit's like, we're open to any community. Oh shit, most of
It's
them are
one we don't
toxic.
like.
Some
Crap.
communities are scary.
And
Huh?
they're toxic. They're illegal. They're perverts. They're like, we're literally red pill is literally festering perverts. Like it's a breeding ground of just I don't even know, but it's just a nice Reddit. You gave a community of perverts. Like what is next? An onion website for child pornography?
So inclusive.
Yeah, everybody
That's,
has to have a community. Feel like they feel.
Oh, this
Daniel, is
coincides
yours a
with
fucking shill? Oh my god, yours is a shill.
the show.
Yeah.
Mine
Daniel's
is.
a fucking
There's no.
shill.
What you talk about, Daniel? What's your random bullshit?
Mine. There's no other thing other than this to describe it, but it's
It's a
basically.
shill.
Everybody, get your wallets out.
Oh my
Get you,
God.
get you. We are brought to you by Linus.
Sponsored by Linus Tech Tips. Jesus Christ.
No. Okay, so the Float Play Club. They are hiding coders. They are hiding. What they want it to be is a video delivery service. No frills, no anything. You know,
Just
you're the
like-
content creator. You're the content creator. You tell your audience, here's our video. There's nothing. There's no annotation set anywhere. There's no click here to see our next video or anything. It's just here's the video, and it has a subscription service so that the content creator can release it early, and you get to support the content creator. So it's basically exclusive Patreon exclusively for this. And the thing is that there's basically very little that they can show right now because it's exclusive to them. But is this something that content creation wants? Something that is literally holy crap. So, like, is this a thing that's like an actual like they make YouTube videos? Why are they going into
I
building
don't
their
know why
own?
they're trying to
platform?
take on YouTube.
They're not. They're not trying to take on YouTube. They're
Yeah,
just trying to fill the niche that Vessel left.
Because Vessel
I-
sucks.
No, Vessel was just a company that was just trying to get bought up. Like Vessel was just, it was trying to, it was sort of like Discord, just start with a huge capital and see where we go. And that ended up like with Discord, ended up in growth and ideally profit in the future, because right now I really doubt they're.
See, what I don't get
profit.
is this point right here. Real-time chat to make it fun to grab a bag of popcorn and chat with other Float Plane
That-
Club members. So are
That's
they going
exactly
to,
what I don't get
but
at
are-
all.
Are they going to have like live like these are the videos that people are watching right now? You know who
Yeah,
else does that? Pornhub.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things that's like, okay, you're telling me this is a no frill straight delivery, but there's gonna be a real time. How is it gonna be real? Like, is it gonna be streaming style? Am I gonna join a thing and the thing is playing and I just talk to the how can there be real time chat when you're watching that video? Is it real time comments? Which has been
Also,
done
yeah,
and
with
it's
people-
whatever.
I love the irony in this line, because
Oh.
this is being made by Linus Tech Tips and ad-free service. No pre-roll ads to suck up your band. When was the last time that you saw a Linus video that did not have a pre-roll?
Well, the thing is that like what they mean by pre-roll is not exactly what they mean by pre-roll.
But
Post rolls.
Linus Tech Tips was built on pre-roll ads.
What they mean by pre-roll is like, you know, the one that needs to
Yeah, I
load.
know what you're talking
before
about.
the
But
video,
the thing is,
but-
there's no difference if it's built into the video. Like, the only difference is that the creator chooses the person that
like-
they're advertising for instead of like what is the difference between
Well,
the advertiser
thing is-
submitting a video and you choosing which advertisers that you want to work for,
Because-
basically.
Because, for example, let's say Loading Ready Run guys use it and they do it on one of their whatever videos, like there will be no advertisement on the video. The idea is the Floatplane Club will not. You will never load an ad, or you will never like.
Instead, it'll just be part of the video.
It's exactly. You know, Linus is brought to you by
Just have it
FreshBooks
subliminal,
or
like-
like exactly like with Linus.
Guys, we need to
it's-
get sponsored by Squarespace.
So it's one of those things that's like, yeah, there's no pre-roll ads, but you guys are putting ads anyway, so it's not a right now.
You
The
choose
Floatplane
your-
Club is not an
choose your
ad-free service.
ads.
Huh?
You choose
Kind of
your
reminds me of
ads.
Twitch Prime.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think the idea is cool. I don't think there's a need for replacement for Bezel, but I think there
see what
is a
happens.
need for just having like a delivery system, a content delivery system that's not fucking YouTube, because YouTube is
We all know what's
uh,
going on with YouTube. That's why we started a YouTube channel.
yeah, it's so inconsistent whether like a subscribe it's good like a subscribe it's gonna show up on your subscription, whether the content you like will be the fucking platform tomorrow. Who knows? It's the Wild West. So I think this is something that is needed, but it's obviously only gonna benefit people that already have a community. Like there's no you're not gonna be able to join if you're not gonna be able to bring people into the platform at all.
Mhm. Well,
We did
for
it.
content creators, we did it.
We finished an entire show and it only took almost 3 hours. This is
We
the
literally
end.
shoot the shit.
We shot the shit.
Shut the-
You see that
shut the
fucking
shit
logo?
out of that shit.
I made that logo where it shot the shit, brought to you by Butthole Road.
I like it. I like it. Butthole Road,
Quality
or when you need a hole in your
found
road.
only on Butthole Road.
See, we're gonna try to structure the show so that it's around the same time next week. I don't know if we'll be able to do around 5 p.m. on Saturdays because some people don't show up on time. But
I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Malta next week. Okay, so
oh my god! All right, well we'll figure out. Just check out my Twitter or Shadmed, Daniel's Twitter, or if y'all are also interested, if anybody's interested in joining the Game Club, we're trying to think of a new name for it, but for right now it's the Game Club, where we play a game for a month and then talk about it. It's a book club, but for video games.
Exactly.
I was gonna name it
Like
Video
your
Games
Hollow
Book
Knight.
Club. Video
It's
Games Book
taken.
Club is
It's
taken.
taken.
by
Look for
some,
the LP.
Yeah. So if y'all want to play games with us and talk about them, feel free to add myself or Jordan over there, Slokestove.
Join us on Discord.
Join us on Discord. Just reach
I'm-
out to us and we'll fill you in.
I'm an introvert. Don't
Talk to him. Don't talk.
Don't
You
talk
can
to
tweet at
Dan.
him, but you can talk
Don't
to him.
fuck it.
Yeah,
Just only
tweet at
memes.
me.
Only
Yeah,
memes.
I can. I only want to see the bird coming in. I don't want to see the direct. Yeah, no.
All right.
We
Well,
shut
that's
the
it.
shit.
That's all we got. Thanks for
Left
tuning
it.
in, everybody. I enjoyed the chat interaction.
I'm
You
clapping.
can visit us on
We've done it. All right.
buttholeroad.com.